Well, you've just seen one great football game, and now you're going to see another. It's New Year's night in warm Miami, Florida, and NBC Sports again presents the Orange Bowl, the 41st consecutive. The coaches, Paul Bear Bryant of #1 ranked Alabama against Aaron Persigan of Notre Dame, and the national championship is at stake. There's our pretty Orange Bowl queen at our court. And tonight's game, the Orange Bowl between Alabama and Notre Dame, is brought to you by the wide track people have a way with cars. By Goodyear, the makers of Bigfoot, the new poly-steel radial tire. It keeps its feet even in the rain. And by Texaco, and the many thousands of independent Texaco retailers and distributors in all 50 states. Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Simpson, along with John Broad. Broad, Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, Jimmy.
We have the national championship on the line tonight. Alabama is undefeated. Notre Dame was beaten twice, and of course beaten by Southern California, which has just won the Rose Bowl. And if Notre Dame upsets Alabama tonight, they're going to have to put their heads together and see who is the national champion. And Paul Bear Bryant has come to bowls these last 7 years and lost them all. And Aaron Persigan comes to this bowl with his knowledge that this is the last game he will ever coach at Notre Dame. So I would say going in, the players are going to play the ball game, but the coaches are in the spotlight. And I get the feeling that not too many are smiling and haven't been smiling all week long down here, John.
Well, there have been very few teeth shown since Tuesday. I'll tell you, Jimmy, I've heard every cliche connected with tension, but I'll tell you, tension is definitely down there tonight. There's over 150 players on that field. They're all looking for oxygen, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be happy before even the first quarter's up that I'm sitting here. It's going to be one of the most exciting bowl games I've ever seen. I've never attended one in person, and I'm kind of excited.
Well, you know, 1 year ago last night, these two hitched up in the Sugar Bowl, and of course, Notre Dame was the winner there, 24-23, and won the national championship. If Notre Dame can do it tonight, it can knock off Alabama from another possible national championship. And I remember in 1965, in the first nighttime Orange Bowl game, Alabama came in here ranked #1, and Texas knocked them off, the last game for Joe Namath. But who knows? The national championship is at stake. Two great schools, a lot of great players, and two fine coaches. But now our pregame pageantry for the 1975 Orange Bowl, the 41st, is underway on the field, and let's go join it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let freedom ring. America, the dream of the faithful few, desired to bring into reality a nation of which they could be justly proud, where government of, by, and for the people would be the ultimate goal. Steadfast these honorable forefathers stood, even laying down their lives for a cause they believed to be just. Now the mantle has been passed to another generation, to those who believe that from sea to shining sea, America is the greatest country on earth. honor America, let's all join in singing our national anthem.
To the familiar music, the Orange Bowl March. A capacity crowd here at the Orange Bowl in Miami tonight for Notre Dame and Alabama. Both ball clubs decided to stay away from Miami shores until the 30th. And both ball clubs, and as we've said, their coaches are very serious about this game. Pregame makes no bones about it. His ball club is very upset about their third quarter performance against Southern California on national television. And for Pregame, this is his final game as head coach at Notre Dame. Dan Devine will take over next year, and here come the Fighting Irish. On the other side of the field will be a team. Here comes Pregame. Final game as head coach at Notre Dame after 11 years. And now across the way comes Alabama. In its 16th consecutive bowl appearance, they've lost their last 7. Paul Bear Bryant wants this one. The number 1 team in the nation. 11 consecutive wins, no losses. And unlike Pregame, who walked out, Paul Bear Bryant strides out and will have the opening kickoff of the 41st annual Orange Bowl game between Alabama and Notre Dame after this pause. Just like the Steelers and Bengals. Okay.
All right.
How about the officials, right? What the heck is this? This leaks or something, men. Jimmy, got a towel or something? Because that leaks. Okay. That's Mathau's son there. Is it Charlie? Did I hear that? Mrs. Mathau or Mrs. Wren? Let's get this toss here.
Number 54, Mike DeMose. Number 55, Ronnie Robertson. Number 59, Sylvester Crow.
You have to watch it for me. I may have to do something else.
Notre Dame, number 2, Tom Mullins.
Okay. Right.
The officials from the Big Ten.
Notre Dame won.
Referee Robert Fallon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Notre Dame has won, so it's all right.
Back judge Donald Hakes. And from the Southeastern Conference, the umpire Harold Johnson.
Part of the pageantry here tonight, I'm sure you can recognize Mr. Walter Matthau. His latest picture's the front page there in his box with his young son in the lower left. And the man that everybody in Miami and around the country should know, Ernie Seiler, who just retired after 40 years as executive director of the Orange Bowl. That's the man that made this game into what it is today. The toss of the coin has already taken place, and Notre Dame, in your picture right there, has won the toss and will receive to your right. And, Brode, we're about to begin the 41st Orange Bowl game, but you're first.
You're not kidding, it's my first. I've never seen so many people so excited in my life. I hope they quiet down long enough for us to hear what's going on.
Bucky Berry will kick off to the Fighting Irish. And talking about tension, as Brode was, we've also been talking about the adrenaline flowing. Is it flowing more for Notre Dame in the fact that Air Forsigan is leaving, or are they sad? Well, we'll soon find out. Robert Fallon is our referee this evening. Jim Janghurst is our head linesman, back judge, Donald Hakes, Harold Johnson, the umpire, line judge, Butch Lambert Sr., field judge, Armand Quito, timekeepers Dick Pace. We've got 3 officials from the Big Ten, 3 from the Southeastern Conference. There is Bucky O'Keefe, who will kick it off. While deep, number 22 is Mark McLean, a sophomore from Wilmington, Delaware. Number 21, Ron Goodman, out of Mount Sinai, New York. The national championship is at stake as O'Keefe and Alabama prepare to kick off to the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. That is Goodman across the 20, across the 30, and tripped up from behind. Tripped up by Thad Flanagan. A split end playing on the special teams. It's 1st and 10. A return of 29 yards, putting the ball down at the 38-yard line. Tom Clements, number 2, will be at quarterback. Eric Pennick, 44, left halfback. Al Samuel, 24, right halfback. Fullback is Rain Bullock. He's had the flu all week. Number 30, split end. All-American Pete Demerly, number 85. That is Samuel in motion, and Bullock gets the call and is across the 40 and out near the 43-yard line. The offensive line for the Fighting Irish with their numbers. Tight end, number 81, Ken McAfee. His dad was quite a star at Alabama. Number 64, Steve Neese at left tackle. Al Wujciak at left guard. Mark Brenneman, number 59, injured, is in at center. Jared Denardo at right tackle. And Steve Sylvester at right end. And that is Bullock again, getting within a yard or 2 of the first down out near the 47-yard line. Mike DeBose, 54. Randy Hall, 62. Charles Hanna, 51. And Leroy Cook, the All-American, 98, are the front 4, with Gus White, 68, playing in middle guard and frequently dropping back as a middle linebacker. Ronnie Robertson, 55, and Conley Duncan, 57, are your linebackers. I'll give you the deep men in a moment. It's 3rd down and about 2. Bullock does not get the first down. Conley Duncan, number 57, will be getting up from that tackle. Your cornerbacks, Mike Washington, 34, the All-American. Wayne Rhodes, 45. Your safeties, Alan Pizzatola, number 4, and Ricky Davis, number 19. And now Terry Brantley will have to come in and kick it away, as Notre Dame does not get the first down. Going deep is Willie Shelby. He can fly. Number 30, out of Purvis, Mississippi. And there is Tony Brantley. Brantley gets it away, nearly blocked, and goes out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. At the 34-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Leroy Cook was in on Brantley like a ton of bricks.
And I'll tell you, Jimmy, they used 10 men to rush the kicker there. They gave up everything to get to the ball, and how they missed him is a real trick. When you're rushing 10 people and giving up everything to get at the punter, oftentimes one guy will slip and fall into him. That time they put great pressure on him, but nobody got near him.
An 18-yard punt. Quarterback Richard Todd, number 14. You've seen Randy Billingsley, 26. Calvin Culliver, 33. Willie Shelby, 30. That is Shelby in motion. Todd going to throw on first down and misses his man, number 88. Pugh out of Montgomery, Alabama. George could not hold on to the ball. Here's the Notre Dame defensive front four. And this is a good one. That is Steve Niehaus, number 70. Kevin Nosbush, number 60. Mike Fanning, the All-American, number 88. And Jim Stock, number 48, the right end. Second down and 10. No score. We've just begun. Culliver with the football, running right into Tom Eastman, the middle linebacker, number 42. That brings the ball across the 35-yard line and out to the 38-yard line. It's second down and 6.
You notice on first down, Jim, first time they get the ball, they throw a ball. It's a screen pass. They put a man in motion to try and get a man-to-man situation. You may see Alabama throw the ball more tonight than they've thrown the ball all year. Their feeling is that they've got to do something up in the air to get those big fellas off their backs.
Ozzie Newsome, the freshman, the lone freshman in the starting lineup, is wide right. Billingsley goes in motion to the left. Todd tries to carry the ball and goes nowhere. Mike Fanning, the All-American out of Tulsa, number 88, stood him up.
You're going to see Richard Todd try and find a hole where there is none. He's got Mike standing right in front of him. Can't get out of the way of Kroom, and they just stacked up the whole play.
They'll kick it away to Harrison and Bergmeyer, and again, this is a very short kick taken by Ted Bergmeyer, number 18, inside the 35-yard line, down at the 33. As Paul Bear Bryant looks on, we're going to look away for just a moment. 11:48 to go in the first quarter of the 41st Annual Orange Bowl, and there's no score. Man, slow down a minute so you can say something. Is it?
Yeah. I was actually over there.
They're nobody. Daddy, they're nobody. They'll never even see action. Yeah, they will never get in. Alabama looking on as Notre Dame gets the ball for the second time. The first 3 plays that they had it, Bullock carried all 3 times and gained 9 yards. Then they had to kick it away. Samuel in motion. Samuel with the ball. They like that misdirection, and he gets out near the 40-yard line. Open field tackle made across the way by Ricky Davis, the weak safety.
This is a play that could be effective if anything is going to be against Alabama, any kind of misdirection, because their pursuit is so outstanding and has been all year that they all move on the snap of the ball, and any sort of counter play could be effective. That's not the sort of thing they're going to make their bread and butter on, however, Jim.
Second down on a short 4. That's Pennick in motion this time, and Bullock looking for some running room and doesn't get much, does he? Out near the 40.
No, he doesn't. I haven't seen him. Okay, tell him I'll be down there in a minute. I've got another little problem over here right now.
Leroy Cook, he's an all-SEC defensive end. He's been making real fine and big plays for him all year long. Bear Bryant said that of all the guys he has, he thinks he's given him as great a performance all year as anybody.
Third down. And about 3 to go. Pennick again in motion. This time he's going to get the football. Comes outside, has the first down, and tracks across the 45-yard line. Eric Pennick. Oh, he was torn up before the season began, and he didn't get to play over the first half of the season, but he's starting tonight.
This has been the concern that Notre Dame has. Are they going to be able to get wide against Alabama? Here you see Eric Pennick, who has been outstanding for him, just make a nice run. They knock everybody down for him.
Ball is on the 47-yard line. 10:25 to go. First quarter. Notre Dame has the football. There's no score. Well, Pennick's going to try it again. Steps inside one man, Wayne Rhodes. And it looked like Woodrow Lowe came over to make the stop along with Ronnie Robertson, number 55. Robertson, the senior, out of Signal Mountain, Tennessee. Ara Pregame in his final game was just dumped either by Ronnie Robertson or the ball carrier, his own Pennick. A gain of a yard, second down and 9 at the 48 of Notre Dame. Last year's game was a classic. Alabama favored tonight. But Notre Dame says this year's game will be a classic. Generally wide to the right. Samuel in motion that way. On the slight delay, Samuel hit again by Ronnie Robertson, number 55, the strong side linebacker, as he picks up perhaps a yard.
That's excellent pursuit by the linebackers. They had both of them standing right in the hole when the ball was handed off. It breaks through the line of scrimmage like that one did. Generally will pick up 4 or 5 yards before there's any contact. That time they really recuperated great.
Third and long, and we wonder if Tom Clements, who hit on 57% of his passes, will throw here. Ron Goodman checks in, number 21, and Pennick goes out as they use the double wing. Samuel in motion. Clements back on a delay. Throws to Goodman, who just came in, and he doesn't get even back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down. Randy Hall, number 62, the defensive left tackle, made the stop. Randy Hall out of Huntsville, Alabama, a pre-med student. Tony Brantley comes in for his second punt. Remember, they rushed nearly everybody last time, and Brantley's punt was almost blocked. Willie Shelby again goes deep.
Over this way, son. Take it over. Over this way.
Shelby is going to call for a fair catch, and the ball is loose. Still on it. Picked up by Notre Dame. Shelby fumbled the ball.
You're going to see how he couldn't keep his feet under him. The ball, he kind of underplayed the ball. He couldn't get much help down there because they had all 10 men on the line of scrimmage. There were very few back there. You can see he's by himself. He's only got the block in front of him who sees it's dropped, but he's got no momentum to get the ball, and that's what turns ball games around.
Ball is at the 16-yard line. Samuel recovered the fumble in motion. Here comes Pennick this way, cutting up the middle for some yardage inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Bob Baumhauer, number 91, the defensive right tackle, made the stop. He's a hometown boy from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, home with the University of Alabama. 8:25 to go, first quarter, still no score. The first break of the game, Shelby bobbled a punt. Samuel fell on it at the 16. Double wing again. Now Pennick in motion. Clements keeps the ball, tries to turn the right side, and gets inside the 10-yard line. Down to about the 9. Stop was made there by Mike Washington, the All-American from Montgomery.
And Mike turned the play in real fast. He had no actual responsibility. It was a misdirection play in which Clements just elected to try and find a hole outside of the right with his backs going left. If Mike doesn't react like that, he could have made 7 or 8 yards.
Third down and 3. They've got to get to the 6. Bullock, the big fullback, trying to get down near the 6 and is very close. Getting up, Gus White, middle guard. Bob Baumhauer. Fourth down and a foot to go. Bullock, Clements look to the bench. Pregame gives him the go-ahead. Now he's calling for time. They haven't seen him, though. Now they're looking over this way, and now they do call timeout. On fourth down and about a foot to go, the Fighting Irish at the 6.5-yard line want to figure this one out. So, 7:05 to go. You won't miss a thing. We'll come right back in just a moment. At the moment, there is no score.
Thank you. I'll say in a minute. Free safety. Get Rhodes.
19.
Get
19.
Davis. Yeah.
Davis, right. They can score here. We got a game. Notre Dame can score here. We got a game.
He should be where the ball is. That's the reason I say that.
Well, I don't care who wins. Just do it in the last minute. Have your heart attack. I don't care.
If they're close to the ball, you know, the line, forget it. Otherwise, I'll say so.
Jim Simpson with John Brody. Notre Dame, fourth and about a foot.
Right here, Jimmy, you might. They call timeout, but I think primarily to make sure that Clements and Pregame were on the same page as to what play to call, not whether or not to go.
Two tight ends in now. Demerly out. Fourth and a foot. Bullock's got the first down. That's the second first down of the game, but more importantly for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, it's first and goal to go.
They certainly weren't talking about anything too tricky, and I can't quibble with their decision. This guy's been making it's all year long. Wayne Bullock, without him, they're really not as effective a club as they are with him. With him, they're awesome.
Leroy Cook, the All-American end, made the stop. First and goal to go. Pennick and Bullock, your setbacks. Bullock, touchdown! A 16-yard mark set up by the fumble by Willie Shelby, recovered by Al Samuel.
So far, Jim, you've noticed that Notre Dame has been effective running inside, outside, around, up over the top, and they haven't thrown the ball at all. Nothing has happened throw-wise at all, and they haven't had to. It's been a little surprising to me.
The only Notre Dame man ever to get a scholarship is a kicker only. Dave Reese will try to add the extra point, and he has got it. And Notre Dame, the underdog in this game, jumps out 7-0, leading over number one in the country, Alabama. Well, there's still more excitement coming up here on NBC on the 12th of January, and that's a week from Sunday. NBC Super Sunday will begin at 1:30 Eastern Time with a review of the season. A special one-hour program entitled NFL 74, the Championship Chase. Then at 2:30 p.m., the pregame show with Don Meredith, Joe Namath, Jeannie Morris, and Jack Perkins. Super Bowl IX follows immediately at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Pittsburgh versus Minnesota from the Lane Stadium in New Orleans. And after the game, all of the interviews and highlights. It's right here, as is the Orange Bowl, on NBC Sports. Number one in live coverage of major sports events all year round. Pat McLaughlin, number 99, will kick it off for Notre Dame. There's Wayne Bullock, who scored the touchdown from 3 yards out. James Taylor, 27. Willie Shelby, 30, will be the deep men. That's Taylor nearest to you, and there's Pat McLaughlin. Reese started out the year as a kickoff man, but McLaughlin took over. 6 plays from the 16-yard line before Bullock carried it in. This will be Taylor standing at the goal line. To the 10, back down from behind. A fine play by Tony Zappola out of Elmwood Park, New Jersey, number 39.
Let's take a look at the last touchdown. It's not really too confusing. It's very simple. They hand the ball to Wayne, and he runs right straight over the strong safety, filling the hole and into the end zone.
First and 10 for Alabama from the 15-yard line. Ozzie Newsome comes to the right. That is Todd, the quarterback, and Todd gets about 8 yards on the play, out to the 23-yard line. Tom Eastman, number 42, and Randy Harrison, number 10, made the stop. Second down and long yard. Richard Todd, described by Paul Bear Bryant as probably the best all-around athlete on the club. And he's big, 6'2", 209, a junior from Mobile, Alabama. Culliver is knocked down by Niehaus. Steve was coming across the line of scrimmage and took his spot at the left end just as the play was getting underway and was there to make the stop.
And Bear has mentioned earlier that he hasn't been able to get the ball to Culliver outside as much as he'd like. He said, you know, as strong as he is and as good an inside runner as he still is better outside. And he said somehow tonight we're going to have to give up a little something to get him outside on one of their defensive linemen or linebackers and really watch him run.
It's the first down for Alabama at the 25-yard line. Ernie Hughes was in the ball game and now comes out as Greg Collins, most valuable player on defense, outside linebacker, calls the defensive signals. He hurt his knee in a motorcycle accident this week, lacerated at both knees, but is playing. Todd back for his pass to Ozzie Newsome. He can't hold on to it at the 43-yard line.
Todd made an excellent throw there, Jim. I think coming out of his move, Newsome started to stumble on the turf there, or he'd run right under it.
That'll be second down and 10. Todd against Auburn threw only twice in the entire game. One was a 45-yard pass run play to Shelby, right to the line of scrimmage, and Shelby took it the other 45 yards. Our score, the Irish of Notre Dame 7, the Crimson Tide of Alabama nothing, 5:25 to go. We're in the first quarter. Shelby gets across the 30-yard line, tripped up by Randy Harrison, and Drew Mihalik came over to help out.
Randy Harrison and Drew Mihalik on the tackle.
Here's a look at why a play goes or it doesn't go. Here Shelby's on a simple draw play. Both guards just open up a hole in the front, and actually Collins just misses him, and really was a successful play for Notre Dame. They've still got 3 yards to go.
John Galanos, number 96, checks into that Notre Dame defensive front four on third down. At about a yard and a half. Todd still got the football, flips it out. It is moved and scored. By Notre Dame, Tom Eastman, number 42. Alabama gives up the football inside the 30-yard line. Their second fumble, and they've lost them both.
And John Devenetsky really made the thing work. He came in and forced the play. Todd wasn't ready for it. You're going to see right here on a replay exactly why those options do or don't work. Here he comes down, makes the fake. He's ready to pitch. He forces him quicker than he's ready. He makes an errant throw. And there's a lot of cats looking for that ball if you can't get on it right away.
Harper Segan looking on. Clements to call signals from a 29, sending Panic in motion. Clements rolling. He's a good runner. Wow, he hit down right at the line of scrimmage. Hit down by big Leroy Cook, the All-American from Abbeville, Alabama, number 98.
Jimmy, he went right through a blocker to get Clements. He has been extremely active. I'm sure he'd like to play a little less than he's having to play right now. He's looking for Demerly across the field. He sees he's covered, tucks it and tries to run, and Cook looks like an octopus going after him.
Lost about a half a yard. We'll still call it second and 10. Samuel in motion. Bullock straight ahead up the middle. Gets away from Woodrow Lowe, and Lowe hangs on as he cracks inside the 25-yard line. That'll be third down and about 5 to go. Alabama winners over Maryland, Southern Mississippi, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Florida State, Tennessee, TCU, Mississippi State, LSU, Miami, and Auburn. Now down 7-0 and facing a 3rd and 5 situation at their own 24. Clements back to throw. Looks, throws, and intended for Samuel, and it's broken up. Broken up by Alan Pizzatola, the strong side safety.
Had that ball been thrown just a little bit later, Pizzatola would have picked it off. He was standing back there hiding, and you see who he's trying to get to is McAfee on the play. And even though he looks open in this situation, his first look was to McAfee. He hadn't turned around, and he was coming on back. And lots of times when you see somebody open, it's not quite the whole picture.
Dave Reese, the man that we said was exclusively signed as a kicker, will try a 42-yard field goal with Alaco holding. Reese gets the ball up, and it's no good. So that fumble does not hurt Alabama from a scoring standpoint. 3:09 to go. We're in the 41st Annual Orange Bowl in Miami, and Notre Dame leads Alabama 7-0.
Hey, Don? Don? I have a little trouble sometimes if I see a guy like McAfee. Let me just see the picture. Don't tell me what happened, because if I'd rather just see him, and then I could say he looks open, but who knows or something. All right? I got you. No, yeah, I know. I didn't. It looked to me like at that time he was looking the other way, and that's why I didn't see him. That's why I didn't want to say anything about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Next case, right?
Your attention, please. 10 seconds. Indiana Cadillac owners. Your license number is 49G69.
Eric Pettick looking on from the Notre Dame bench as Alabama has gone to a new quarterback, Gary Rutledge, the senior out of Birmingham, Alabama. Their starter, but he broke his shoulder before the season, and Richard Todd took over for most of the season. Todd also was hurt part of the time. But Rutledge, number 11, is your new quarterback. Not as physical as Todd, but he sure can throw the football. They call him the Rooster. He's a redhead. Alvin Culliver barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about all. Jim Stock, number 48, the defensive end out of Barberton, Ohio, made the stop. Russ Shamoon, 25, is in as a split end. Newsom is out.
I'm a little concerned. I wonder if Todd might not be injured, because well, I'll get back to it after this play, Jim.
Shelby in motion. Culliver breaks into the secondary, first down the sideline, dragged down by Randy Payne, number 16.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Let Culliver get outside just a little bit, and the Bears says there's no man going can catch him. That's the first play that really has broken for Culliver, and you'll see right here how those things happen. Actually, they intended to double team a little earlier if they have to get him outside. There they just had a simple one-on-one block, and he picked up plenty.
18 yards to the 45-yard line, where it's 1st and 10. Rutledge looking, overshoots his tight end, number 88, George Pugh. And it's 2nd down from the 45.
You don't find many opportunities to get a man as open as Rutledge had Newsom then. I was mentioning I was a little concerned, and the reason I was is that earlier he mentioned he was going to make very few substitutions tonight. It wasn't going to be as it had been all year. And, his philosophy is that make as many as you can. It helps the whole team morale, and it also keeps people fresh. But he said tonight he expects them to be fresh no matter how long they have to go.
Shamoon this time set right, bottom of your screen. Rutledge on the option, picks up some yardage out to the 49-yard line. That was made there by Greg Collins, their senior linebacker out of Troy, Michigan. There is Paul Bear Bryant. He has now got the Crimson Tide in their 16th consecutive bowl game. However, he has not won one since the Sugar Bowl game back in 1967 when he defeated Nebraska. And as John has indicated to you, the Bear and all of Alabama wants this one. 3rd down and 7. Billingsley and Shamoon both to the right. Rutledge dropping straight back. Look out! Blitz was on. John Dubanetsky, the strong side safety, was blitzing.
Here you see what happened. He left the whole left side out, and it's simply a safety man blitz. And when you let a guy get all the way in there like he did John Dubanetsky, he's been having a kind of a free night. He can go wherever he wants, and he's made excellent decisions.
Rod Nelson comes in to kick it away. Randy Harrison 10, Ted Bergmeyer 18. This is Randy Harrison taking it inside the 20 at about the 23-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Irish with 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Well, on Saturday, January the 11th, that's a week from this Saturday, Broad and I will be over in Mobile, Alabama for the senior game. It was a highly regarded game by pro scouts in their search for new National Football League talent. And this year we've got a couple of the top quarterbacks, Steve Bartkowski from California, David Hum from the University of Nebraska. The Senior Bowl, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on NBC Sports. #1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round. Queen Linda Metz, center court, looking on. Mark McLean, number 22, is now in the backfield. And it is McLean with the football. Wow, did he take a shot. Number 47, Woodrow Lowe, hit him head on.
Woodrow Lowe made some kind of play, and I'll tell you, last year he was an All-American. This year he hasn't had the year that he had last. And when you make All-American as a sophomore, you really have to stand up and make people notice you. This year, for whatever reason, he hasn't had quite the year, but if that's any indication of the way he's going to play the rest of the evening, it's not too bad.
Well, he was injured missed a couple of games, as a matter of fact, Broad, because of injuries. Straight ahead, Bullock across the 30. Near the first down at the 33-yard line. Wayne Bullock having quite a night, and he did not practice but a couple of days because of the flu. Irish need him.
So far tonight, this is the man in the difference. Bullock is running into areas that look like very nominal gains, and he's making big out of it. Carried the ball 9 times and made 33 yards.
All right, we're at the end of the annual Orange Bowl game, and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame up on the crimson tide of Alabama.
You're too much.
I'd say that a fumble and Wayne Bullock have been the difference so far.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, Jim. I'm a little surprised Clemens hasn't thrown the ball a little more than he has, but I'll tell you, he hadn't had to.
All right, we begin the second quarter. It's 7-0. Notre Dame, they've got the football 1st and 10 at their own 33. Clements, check that. There's your first down. It was 3rd and short at the 33-yard line. And now they measure it off and say it's the first down as we begin the second quarter. Coach Dan Devine, one-time coach at the University of Missouri, 4 years a coach for the Green Bay Packers, will take over the Notre Dame squad once this game is over. For Pregame, it is all over. This is Al Samuel taking the pitch back. In a little bit of trouble, gets out of some of it, and down he goes. Number 63, Greg Montgomery, now in as a middle guard from Macon, Georgia, made the stop.
Greg Montgomery tackles.
2nd down and about 9.
Here you see why plays go and why they don't. And the great pursuit of Alabama really making up for any mistakes. Now, that's an excellent block at contact that Demerly gets. He even gets his arm around there a little bit. But still, the pursuit made up for it. 2nd and 9.
Going the other way is McLean, trying to get outside and cannot get outside.
Mark McLean was the ball carrier.
Leroy Cook was over there, number 98, to help out on the stop, and they're going to have 3rd down and long.
Leroy Cook tackled.
Talked to Coach Dan Devine this morning. He is in Minnesota for the moment. He has already begun his recruiting, and I reminded him of the Orange Bowl game in which he had 7 interceptions, lost 2 fumbles, and lost to Penn State. And he said, don't remind me of that. Remind me of the Navy game, which we won back in '61. Clements with the football, trying to get the first down, and he is very close. Again, Cook is around that football, and Gus White was there with him.
That's an excellent play by Clements. A lot of burden on the quarterback to make the right decision. He could have given it to Bullock. He elected not to. He saw the hole was there and took it on in himself.
The ball is at the 44-yard line of Notre Dame. They lead 7-0 early in the second quarter. Clements going on first down and throws it out here to Mark McLean, and McLean is pushed out of bounds after picking up 5 yards. Run out of bounds by Mike Washington. And let's see where they actually marked the ball. They're very close. It's a lot more than 5 yards broad. It is very close to the 47-yard line and therefore close to a first down.
And what makes a play like that go is the quarterback who comes out ready to throw when the back gets in the open. If he'd have given him just a little more time, he'd have been too late. But he hit him right on the break, and really no defensive linebacker or can be in 2 places at once. They were backing up, trying to double on the wide receiver, and he hit him just perfect.
It is true that the Irish touchdown was set up by a fumbled punt, but it is also true that Alabama has not been able to drive the ball, and Notre Dame has been able to move the ball. Bullock, one of the men who's been moving the ball, doesn't move it very far that time, does he?
Wade Bullock, the ball carrier.
Getting up is Randy Hall, the left tackle, along with Mike Washington, who made the stop. First down.
He definitely moved it far enough, Jim, and the guy he's really doing a job. They were in a short yardage defense then, and obviously the yardage is tough. But this guy is so low to the ground and so hard to hit that I don't know how they stop him when they do.
Well, he's taking a breather. Tom Parise, number 36 out of Longmont, Colorado, comes in. Al Samuel can't quite make the cut around the defensive man at the 40-yard line, and he knocks him down. Alan Pizzatola. There was some question tonight whether or not Pizzatola would start because of a bad ankle. But he's the strong side safety. The man, the weak safety, Ricky Davis, is the one that says, I'm going to play a game tonight. He said, I did not play well last year when they beat us by a point. I would imagine all of Alabama feels that way. Samuel's going to try it again. Dragged down from behind as he went by number 68, Gus White. On top of him was Dick Turpin, but White was the man who made the tackle. That's another first down.
It's the first time they've actually repeated the same play. He hands the ball to Samuels this time. Clements has had him really guessing. They're playing very defensive defense, and they're not quite sure of where the ball is going. You can get some sort of a flow of a game. It's all with Clements.
Ron Goodman comes in, number 21, and Wayne Bullock, number 30, is back in. The ball is on a 34-yard line. Bullock may have gotten a yard, stacked up by the right side of that line, led by Charles Hanna, who tonight is starting at right tackle. Out of Albertville, Alabama. If the name is familiar, yes, he's the brother of John Hanna, the New England Patriots, and yes, there is another at home like him. He's got a brother, David, who is only 6'5", 230, who intends to matriculate at Alabama.
If they're anything like John, they have to be something.
Second down and nearly 10 to go. That's Goodman in motion, but Pennick's got the football. Makes the cut and gets some yardage down to the 30-yard line. But the tackle's made by Randy Hall and Gus White.
4 yards to the 30.
10:45 to go. Earlier today, the Cotton Bowl was won by Penn State. And in a game that I hope you saw right here on NBC, USC in the closing moments went for the 2 points and the victory instead of the tie, and Hayden delivered the ball on the money. And USC defeated Ohio State 18-17. Our score is 7-0. 3rd and 6. That's Goodman in motion. Clements to Goodman. Goodman got a yard or two inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Mike Washington and Mike DeBose upended it.
Actually, the play looked like it got set up pretty well, and had he had a little more room, they were running it to the short side, and they just ran out of room, and the pursuit caught it. He thought when he made the pitch, and actually it's one of the few pitches he's actually made tonight, that he had the yardage, but good pursuit beat it.
Well, for the second time on a fourth down situation, Clements is going to call a timeout. 10:17 to go. We are in the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, on a warm night and a hot game. The Irish of Notre Dame lead the Crimson Tide of Alabama 7-0. You know something? You'll never believe this. I just turned my board to that to do that, and the commercial came up. Right.
I'll believe it.
Hello, Bear.
You can feel the heat.
I can. What are they going to do? They don't have a kicker in there, do they, Rick? No, they don't have a kicker in there. I'd go for it.
They got the kicker.
Huh?
They've got the kicker.
They got the kicker in there?
5, 4, 3.
The Bear, Paul Bear Bryant looking on. As Dave Reese will now try a 45-yard field goal at Frank Alaco to hold.
And they don't have anybody back to return it either, Jim.
He earlier missed a 42-yard, could be offside. Kick is blocked, flag is down. They need 5 yards to go, and if an Alabama man, Mike Washington, charged offside, that could be the first down Notre Dame, and that's what it is. Mike Washington trying to block it, coming in from the right side, jumped offside. It was 4th and 4 to go.
You're going to be able to see Mike jump just a little bit. He is concerned that the center made him jump by swishing the ball just a little bit early. Whether or not that's true, they still got a 5-yard penalty.
It's going to be a first down at the 23-yard line.
And that's what the Bears concerned about.
Clements comes back in. Remember Claude Buddy Young, great back in college, in football, now still active in pro football. Well, Claude Young Jr., Buddy's young son, is very ill, and all of us at NBC Sports wish him not only Happy New Year, but just continued good luck and happiness. We hope you get better. Clements. Down he goes. Right there is Ronnie Robertson, number 55, out of Signal Mountain, Tennessee, to make the stop.
I'll tell you, he's made some awful solid hits tonight. He's made 3 or 4 all by himself. He seems to know where the thing's going.
Ball is at the 23-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Alabama undefeated, number 1 ranked in the country. They win tonight. They win the national championship. At the moment, they're down by 7. McLean in motion. The fake to Bullock. The pitch to McLean. McLean gets inside the 15-yard line, and he's got a first down near the 11. Mark McLean of Wilmington, Delaware, a sophomore, carries the ball to the 11-yard line.
Made an excellent play again, Jim. Clements really just went down the line, waited till the last possible instant to be able to throw it out there. You're going to be able to see just exactly why these option plays do or do not work. Makes a good fake to Bullock, waits the last second, flips it right out to McLean, and he picks up about 9 of those yards all on his own.
With Ricky Davis making the stop. Bullock going up the middle and gets inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. Wayne Bullock.
Ball carrier.
Well, as warm as it is tonight, and the fact that Bullock has been bedded down by the flu, I am sure that Eric Pregame will rest him more than once. It's warm just sitting up here.
It is warm, but I'll tell you, he's hot, and they kind of like to get what they can.
2nd down, the ball is at the 8-yard line.
3 yards.
Demerly comes out. They've got the 2 tight ends in there now, Robin Weber and Ken McAfee. And that is McLean in motion, and he's got the football and comes inside and touchdown! 8-yard run, Mark McLean.
The amazing thing, Jim, is that they've been able to do it throwing very few passes. I mean, they're running over the top option. You fake the ball to Bullock, you see him go down. Now McLean gets outside, makes a great cut, just runs about 3 or 4 of those red shirts right into the end zone. Here you see it again. It's really good to watch when you see somebody operating and executing the way Notre Dame is right now. It's a little concerning to be the #1 team getting run over like this.
Dave Reeve comes in to try the extra point. Alaco to hold. And it is no good. Alaco runs back to argue, and so does Reeve.
You can tell Alaco was trying to get a little help on the call. As soon as he kicked it, he waved his arms, and they don't do that unless it's pretty close.
8:29 to go. We're still in the first half, and at the moment, #1 ranked Alabama is in trouble, trailing Notre Dame 13-0. Man, this ain't like pro ball. He's like, just pro ball. They kind of hang around for a little while to show a few replays.
He's more up. He's more up than they are.
Yeah. Hey, Don. One more Notre Dame touchdown, and I've lost Rick Valdesari. He's going to jump out of the booth. Okay, John, when it comes back, you take it. You take it. That's Shelby and Taylor.
You're going to get a chance to see Alaco doing a little politicking here. The ball is kicked pretty solid. It goes right over the top of the upright from our angle. However, you just can't tell, and it's a ref's decision. It was ruled no good, so they've got a much better angle than we do to see it. You didn't get to see the politicking.
Matt McLaughlin right up that toe to kick off. Jimmy Taylor, 27, and Willie Shelby, 30. He got some foot into that, didn't he? Driving Shelby way back in the end zone, and he's not going to bring it out.
He must be tying lead in that shoe. That's about as far as I've seen anybody kick it all year.
NBC's third year of the National Hockey League will get underway on Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time with the St. Louis Blues meeting the Buffalo Sabres and heralding the return of you-know-who, Peter Puck, along with other features. Right here on NBC Sports, #1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round. Alabama's had the ball for 13 plays from scrimmage. Notre Dame has had it for 35 plays. The score is 13-0. Notre Dame, and Rutledge remains your quarterback. Todd started. Rutledge pitching back to Shelby. Shelby ripped by one man and is dragged down across the way. And there is Tom Eastman, the sophomore out of Elkhart, Indiana, again. He has made several key hits. He's recovered a fumble. That's the scoring drive, 77 yards. And look how much of the clock they ate up, 7.5 minutes. Big gain for Shelby of 8 yards at 2nd down and 2. Shelby's carried twice for 16 yards now. Not a bad average, is it? Newsom comes wide left. Oliver did not get the first down. I believe Jim Stock is getting up right there, number 48, most responsible for that. And it'll be 3rd down and about a yard. Bryant said, and I'm speaking of the Bear now, that by tonight he would probably have the best team in the country because he said we've had a good team, an undefeated team, but we haven't had everybody together because of injuries. He said, I think we've got nearly everybody we need right now. But at the moment, things aren't going that well for the Crimson Tide. Shelby tries to get the first down, and I don't think he got it. I don't think he got it. Looked like Greg Collins wrestled him back.
You're going to see their top defensive player, actually, in Greg Collins, and you're going to see why he gets in there. And when you stop somebody behind the line of scrimmage, you've made a real big play.
Did that look like a face mask to you?
No, it didn't, as a matter of fact, Jim. Sometimes you slip your hands by there, but if you don't grab a hold, it's not a face mask.
Okay. Harrison and Bergmeyer go deep. Rod Nelson in to kick it away. They've got a return on, but Harrison's calling for a fair catch over at the 33-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10. 6:23 to go. We're still in the first half, and it's still a surprising ball game. The Irish of Notre Dame. Tony Urick makes his first freshman.
That was good. I have to see the play, and it looked like it. And I saw it, but he never grabbed it. He hit it.
Because I'm sure everybody sitting at home is going,
the more you can do that. Yeah. The more you can do that, the better I like it.
Sure. We're just complimenting ourselves.
A bunch of stuff around.
Yes. We're up here patting each other on the back and everything else. Yeah. Yeah, lacerated knees. Yeah, looks like it. Doesn't look too hurt.
There's the defensive captain to it.
4, 3.
Greg Collins, most valuable player for the defensive units of the Fighting Irish, an All-American. Having his shoes taped there, first and 10. Al Samuel trying to get some yardage and doesn't get much, if any. By the way, Terry Urick, number 40, a freshman out of Saginaw, Michigan, has checked into that Notre Dame offensive backfield. Mike DeBose and Ronnie Robertson, and I've said Ronnie's name more than a few times tonight, we're in on the tackle. A loss of, let's say, half a yard, second and 11.
A lot of times you see a linebacker making a lot of tackles, but they're 7 and 8 yards down the line. He's made a lot of them right on that line.
Bullock has the football, lost the football, and it looks like Alabama has recovered in Notre Dame territory. Getting up is Pizzatola. Bullock had the football and coughed it up at the 40-yard line. And now Alabama, for the first time today, is in Notre Dame territory.
This is the kind of break they're going to need more of. They've been outplayed to here, and there's no doubt about it. Bullock's been carrying that mail all night long. Here he could just feel it kind of leaving his hands. Big play for Alabama.
First down, Rutledge pitching back to Shelby with some running room, and he's down to the 35-yard line.
I noticed, Jim, they put Todd back in the game, and I don't know what it is, but he's coming back firing. You see right here, Richard had a chance to sit down and look things over for a minute. Now he throws the ball out to Shelby, and he's got one-on-one out there, and I'd hate to have to be trying to tackle him.
Ubanetsky, the strong side safety, made the stop. It's second down and 5. Marv Russell has checked in as middle linebacker, number 54. Todd keeps the ball and is wrestled down by Drew Mahalik, number 45. Let's pause briefly for station identification. From Miami, this is the NBC television network. Four minutes, 50 seconds to go, first half. The Irish of Notre Dame lead 13-0, but Alabama has the ball at the 32-yard line, third down and about 2 to go. Alabama's had 4 prior fourth down, or rather first down attempts on third down and have converted on none. Todd throwing out here to Ozzie Newsom. He's got the first down at the 21-yard line. Randy Payne made the stop.
It's a perfect throw in that situation. They're giving you one-on-one coverage out there, and that's what they've really been looking for. You see Richard Todd throw the ball right on the break, puts it right on the money, and I don't think anybody can cover a ball executed like that. You're going to get another angle from it, possibly because we haven't been seeing many balls go through the air, but it's still the same play.
Lipinski checks in, Payne is out. Lipinski 26 at that right cornerback spot. Todd looking again. Trying to get down behind the man, Reggie Barnett, who was defending on the play and could not. But Barnett was moving away, and Newsom simply ran into it.
And had it looked as if Newsom was trying to cut under him to get the ball, you might have seen a penalty flag thrown, but actually the ball was so far away, it wasn't in play.
Second down and 10. Barnett in his third year as a starter at Notre Dame And are you listening? He's playing football at Notre Dame, and when he graduates in May, he'll nearly have enough credits for his master's. He'll, of course, have his bachelor's. Second down, 10. Todd carrying the football and being wrestled down by Drew Mahalik, the outside linebacker. And suddenly it is third down. And still about 10 to go. Perhaps 9.5. Drew Mahalik from Farmington, Michigan. 6'3", 220, playing his final game for Notre Dame. Russ Shamoon is in, number 25, and goes wide to the right. Todd looking, has his man inside the 10-yard line. That's Jerry Brown, the tight end. The ball was loose and everybody went for it.
Here you see a simple little running fake. When he finally does go to throw the ball, he does make an excellent throw. He's got the ball right on the money in a big group of people, and it was ruled that he fumbled the ball after he went down.
From the 8.
Here you see it again. You see Richard Todd go back, and he makes a fine fake. Actually, it's not too necessary on 3rd and 9. They knew he was coming to the air, but what he does do well is put the ball right on the money.
Newsom wide to the right. Randy Billingsley looking for running room, and boy, is he straightened out by Steve Niehaus, number 70, the defensive left end.
And they have particularly had trouble running the ball on an option or a wishbone play, anything to the short side. The pursuit of Notre Dame has been outstanding up to here.
Loss of a yard, second down from the 9-yard line. Notre Dame 13, Alabama nothing with the Crimson Tide. Thanks to a Bullock fumble at the 40 beginning to move. The first Notre Dame score was set up by a fumble by Al Samuel of a punt. Shamoon is in and wide right. Todd hands the ball to Culliver. Culliver gets inside the 5-yard line. Kevin Nosbush, Drew Mahalik made the stop. Numbers, that's Shelby, check it. Looked like Culliver to me.
It was Culliver, Jim, and I'll tell you what happened. Todd sits there and he could see him fading out to play the option on the wide side, and he saw it happen. He handed him the ball. It's not that you don't design a play on second down and 8 yards to go right off tackle, but that wishbone is an option situation. If that hole's there, you got to give it to him.
Third down from the 4. Todd looking for Newsom, off his hands at the goal line. Reggie Barnett defending.
He put the ball right on the money, but Newsom had a little problem finding the ball in the lights there. You can just see him. He's coming out of his break, and he's not totally under control, and the ball almost hit him before he was ready for it. You see, it's a perfect drop, little 3-stepper, and he hits him right on the money, and here he comes out of it. Looks like he almost stumbled on the way. It's a tough break.
4th down from the 4-yard line. Number 10, Danny Ridgway is coming in. Fraley will hold, and they will try a 21-yard field goal to get Alabama on the board. 21-yard field goal attempt is good. And Alabama's Crimson Tide, with 1:45 to go in the half, is on the board. And Notre Dame now leads the Crimson Tide by a score of 13-3. And we'll come right back to Miami in a moment. No, sure will. You just go ahead and roll it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that ball recovered, Henry, at the 40? Huh?
Stopped on the...
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Well,
I'm talking here. I'm getting confused.
Not really. That's a 40-yarder.
That's a 40 yard.
It doesn't matter where they stop. They kick a field goal.
They
That's through the
score.
goalpost.
That takes the extra 4 yards, sure. 40. Okay, now Samuel and
And to us.
Goodman is which? Nearest or farthest? Which is Notre? Oh, I see. Along with John Brody, Jim Simpson in the Orange Bowl. We've got 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Plus, we've got the $1 Million Band of Alabama, the band from Notre Dame, and the usual halftime pageantry. Bucky Berry will kick it off. Number 21 is Ron Goodman. Number 24 is Al Samuel, deep for Notre Dame. Goodman has this ball at the 17-yard line. Running into a host of folks. Led by Dick Turpin. Also in on the tackle was number 38, Johnny Davis. The ball will be placed down at the 26-yard line. Do you believe that somewhere out in Southern California, a few Southern California Trojans are looking at this ball game, realizing that they defeated Ohio State this afternoon, and that if Alabama gets it tonight, maybe that voting will go a different way?
I think they may be viewing it in the second half, but I think they're celebrating the first half.
They're
Jimmy.
still celebrating. That ball game ended just about an hour and 15 minutes ago. If you didn't hear, USC beat Ohio State 18-17. Samuel in motion. Bullock with the football. Bullock, the tackle made on him by number 34, Mike Washington, as he tracks across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 3.
This is a familiar scene. We've been watching it all night long. You get just excellent penetration from your offensive line, and Bullock is breaking those arm tackles. He's just a very hard man to bring down.
Time called on the field for a moment. Ronnie Robertson is going off. Might have an equipment problem. Or might just want to check out the defenses with Paul Bear Bryant with 1:18 to go. So Tom Clements takes this opportunity to come over and talk with Ara Presigia. On January 18th and 19th, well, it's back to the warm weather again. For the 4th consecutive year, NBC Sports is going to move out of the great Southwest into Tucson, Arizona, for the Dean Martin Tucson Open, featuring the 1974 World Series of Golf champion, Lee Trevino, as well as last year's Tucson Open defending champion. And in the first part of last year, what tournament didn't he win? Johnny Miller. Right here on NBC Sports, #1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round. Paul Bear Bryant. You know, Governor George Wallace was to speak at the coaches' luncheon the other day, and he read a proclamation which he said was facetious. But he was talking about Paul Bear Bryant's compassion in bowl games and allowing the other team to win for the last 7 years. He said, we hope that he doesn't have the same thing happen to him New Year's night, because it just possibly could force his premature retirement. And again, George Wallace said, I'm being facetious.
I don't think either side's given up much on purpose here. There's two sides that want to win awful bad.
2nd down and 3 to go. Double wing again. Bullock's got the football again, and Alabama's got him this time at about the 35-yard line, shy of the first down. It'll be very close, as a matter of fact, where they put the ball down. It is either 3rd and about a foot, or it's 1st, and so they're going to take time here to bring the sticks in from across the way. We've got 1 minute and 9 seconds to go. Check out the measurement, which tells us that they've got that far to go.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Tom Clements, the quarterback, a lot of people thought he might get the Heisman Trophy, but of course, you know, Archie Griffin of Ohio State got that, and Anthony Davis, hurt in today's game, was 2nd. Tom Clements was not given the Heisman Trophy, and as a matter of fact, Clements said, I'm not interested in that, I'm interested in winning, and as far as pressure is concerned, he said pressure is self-inflicted. You're looking at Mark Brenneman, got 2 different shoes on because he has broken a foot. May play some tonight. Clements tries for the first down. Did he get it? Greg Montgomery was up top. Number 63. And from where they've spotted the ball, it looks as though they've got it. They've got the first down at the 36-yard line with 59 seconds left in the half. And now Alabama calls for a timeout. The history of Notre Dame quarterbacks winning the Heisman Trophy is a long one. I can name a few. Johnny Lujack, Paul Horning in 1956 when Notre Dame was 2-8. A lot of people forget that Paul was a quarterback at Notre Dame, such a fine running back in the pros.
Well, he was a fine running back. And, I think Clements is probably as good as any of them. I'm not going to sit there and make a bunch of comparisons, but I noticed he has as much ability in all departments as any quarterback I've seen in college.
Well, Grote, I'm constantly asking you this because you're a quarterback for so many years in the National Football League yourself. And so when John Brody says something about Tom Clements, that's high praise indeed. We've got a 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. And that's the first time they've set up in the power I, which they're doing, and Pennick goes nowhere out of the power I as Mike DeBose, number 54, the senior from Opp, Alabama, made the stop.
It's pretty simple to see why plays do or don't make it. He slips right around Bullock, and DeBose makes a simple little play on Pennick. Pennick really wasn't ready for him. He thought that Bullock could get a piece and he'd have an option run there, but it didn't work out that way.
Mark McLean has checked into the backfield, number 22. Ken McAfee started up wide, now comes back up tight. McLean goes in motion. Clements running with the football across the 40 and scoots out of bounds at the 43-yard line, stopping the clock with 16 seconds left in the first half.
When he gets outside, Jim, I'll tell you, he's some kind of threat, and he drops straight back, and actually that play, when he did drop back, it was designed for him to roll late. And Alabama had excellent coverage on him. They were playing in a simple little prevent defense, and he just couldn't get it executed.
Alabama, in its last 4 years, has had 3 perfect seasons. They won 4 consecutive Southeastern Conference titles. But that bold victory has eluded them since the Sugar Bowl of 1967. And they're trailing in this one by 10 points with 16 seconds to go in the half. 3rd down and 3. Clements gets the ball off, and it's going to be intercepted, I do believe, by Mike Washington, number 34.
Washington had the ball all the way, and I know he was trying to make a big play on that, but Washington was in perfect position. There was really no area at all for Clements to get the ball in. And when he rolls out again, he's trying to make any kind of a big play to set up a field goal before the half. And this isn't as dangerous a play as you might think, because for Alabama to get in any kind of position to make any points at all, they've got to do it in one play, and I think that's why he took the gamble.
Ball is at the 37-yard line. The pass was intended for Goodman. Bear O'Brien along the sidelines. Tony Novikov steps in as a linebacker to help out on what they consider will be one play. Todd is your quarterback. Pete Johnson is also in. Todd throws and has Shamoon. Shamoon steps by 2 men. Down he goes with a second to go, and time runs out in the first half as they had a first down at the 37-yard line. So Alabama goes to the dressing room, as do the Irish. And the score at the end of the first half of the 41st Annual Orange Bowl is Notre Dame, the underdogs, leading the number 1 ranked team in the country, Alabama, 13-3. Whole different ball game, isn't it?
Yeah.
This stuff rather than pros.
We got to get it out.
We
got to hurry. That's all
right. It's not the old league.
But that's all right.
Okay.
Mention it if you want. We can.
Oh yeah, we'll do that
sometime when you want to mention it. You sound like a motor mouth. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Huh? Tell me, in the bands, how much time do I have? The second 5, I want to blow down there.
Got any ice? Yeah, this has got some in it. Here, I'll give you this. If I could just get, well, wait. If you can get a cup of ice anywhere, I'll be much obliged to you. Okay. Huh? Eat? You got anything? What's that? All right.
5, 4, 3.
This 1975 Orange Bowl game is being brought to you by Pontiac. The wide track people have a way with cars. Well, it's halftime. That always means a lot here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. We've got the Alabama band, the Notre Dame band, and our halftime pageantry coming up. But from Miami, for the moment, let's take this pause for station identification. You have a different kind in there aside from ham?
Frank Blanton, the drummer.
How many ham? No billboard. No, there's no billboard, I think, coming up now, is there? What is that? Retired what? Retired what?
Retired businessman.
That's businessman? Can you read that?
4, 3.
Yes, that is a big band, and that's a good band. That's the $1 Million Band of Alabama under the direction of James Ferguson. They have 260 members. And before we go down, can I tell you one thing, that one member of this band is a 67-year-old sophomore, Harry Boyd, a retired businessman, now in college, and now in the $1 Million Band of Alabama. 1975 Orange Bowl game has been brought to you by General Motors, who wants you to drive what you like and like what you drive. By Texaco and the many thousands of independent Texaco retailers and distributors in all 50 states. And by Goodyear, the makers of Bigfoot, the new polysteel radial tire. It keeps its feet even in the rain. And now coming out on the field, under the direction of Robert J. O'Brien, Notre Dame. And those 8 kilted male dancers there, and they'll be dancing later on. You have to be 6'2" to even qualify. So now we've heard from the Alabama band.
Our alumni and friends with a rousing Irish dance. Tribute to the great Duke Ellington, American musician and composer. Our first selection, his unforgettable Caravan. Duke Ellington's music has become a part of the American musical life because it remains uniquely appropriate to the era for which it was written. Such is his song, Satin Doll. Ella Fitzgerald sang Just a Closer Walk with Thee. And New York's jazz priest, Father Norman O'Connor, stated, Duke, we thank you. You loved us madly. We will love you madly today, tomorrow, forever. forming the and by playing the Notre Dame Victory March.
Our thanks to Alabama and Notre Dame. And now we have coming up the exciting Orange Bowl halftime pageantry. But for the moment, let's pause for station identification. Okay.
Left
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
and left.
Notre Dame leading Alabama 13-3 at the end of the first half. We're at halftime. Jim Simpson with John Brody. Let's go down to the field for the halftime pageantry.
Orange Bowl 1975 salutes that universal family of zany, zippy zealots of zest with its halftime pageant entitled Clowning Around.
Nowhere, and I mean nowhere, do you see a halftime like this at any football game, any place in the country. The Orange Bowl has done it again. Notre Dame for the second half kickoff of this 1975 Orange Bowl game.
Tonight's cast included the Carl Gables High School band at Cavalette and the Carl Gables High Orchestra stands carefully under the direction of Gene Greenway.
Adam all the way.
Southwest Miami High School band under the direction of Melvin Baker, very light dancers. Our happy face solo dancer was Connie James. Cantonets of Palmetto Senior High School directed by Pat Marin. New directions of
You can talk now. Yeah, we're still away.
Can we, when we analyze the second half, that'll be easy. I know what I want to do. If are we going to?
Newberry,
I
Ohio.
don't know. I guess so.
If you get any time, I'll
Yeah.
Miami, Fort Lauderdale Clown Club, the Red Cross Clowns of Miami, the American Clowns of Fort Pierce, Florida,
Okay.
Hockey Jokers Unit of Miami, and Rookie Clown Club of Homestead, Florida. The Orange Bowl pageantry was produced and directed by Dan McNamara. Assistant producer director was Jack Day. Production manager is Hal Fleming. Anthony Lorino and Ted Martino. Choreographer was John Parr. Music was arranged and conducted by William E. Ledoux, band director Carl Gables Senior High School. This is Tom Winston Jr. saying thank you.
Well, he is known in the industry. That is Corey Leibel of NBC with the camera there. That was a clown that had the camera knocked apart, not Corey. Howard Burkhardt, another one of our engineers, is with him. And hello to you wherever you are. It is warm, Corey. I agree with you. Jim Simpson along with John Brody. And, Brode, I know that's the first halftime of an Orange Bowl you've ever seen.
I'll tell you, there are pageants and then there are pageants, Jim. The pageantry now being over, Alabama's got to put something together. I noticed in the first half they tried a few things slick, and they really didn't work. And when a team's used to running the wishbone and getting the ball a lot and being able to figure out what they can do with ball control and not being able to get it back, it really puts you behind a bind. Now, obviously, Alabama prepares a lot more than a lot of wishbone teams to catch up. They've got people that can catch up. They've got a super end in Newsom. They've got a real good thrower in Todd. And they've got good people to come and catch up, and they can. But I'll tell you, it's not going to be on any of the part of Notre Dame's thought.
Well, they're going to get the ball first of all because, remember, Notre Dame got the opening kickoff, so the second half kickoff will belong to Alabama, down by a score of 13-3. Al Samuel fumbled a punt back in the first quarter as you look at the statistics, and Bullock, after Notre Dame recovered it, Samuel got on it at the 16. Willie Shelby fumbled the ball. Bullock took it in from the 3-yard line. And then later, Mark McLean ran over from 8 yards out to cap a 77-yard drive, and Alabama didn't get on the board until 1 minute and 45 seconds to go with a 21-yard field goal by Danny Ridgway. So the score is 13-3, and the statistics, that's your department.
Well, they're not as close as they seem. In total yardage, it looks pretty close, but all those 123 yards you see on Notre Dame's side were made the tough way when the game was in a very field position situation. Alabama made a few yards just before the half when they were meaningless, and they really haven't put together the offense that they're capable of. And in order to win this ball game, they're going to have to do that.
Pat McLaughlin will kick it off. Remember, this is Ara Persigan's last game as head coach at Notre Dame, and Persigan has been very insistent down here in Miami, saying he has not retired. He has resigned from Notre Dame. He said, give me 3 months, 5 months, 6 months. Meanwhile, across the way, 61-year-old Paul Bear Bryant. No thoughts of retirement that I know of. His only thought is to break that personal 7-game losing streak in bowl games. Alabama has come in here rated number 1 and undefeated, and at the moment are down by 10. McLaughlin to kick it off to Shelby, number 30, and Taylor, number 27. And Alabama will get the football as we begin the second half. Shelby, very dangerous and quick at the 9. Gets across the 25, and Randy Harrison, number 10, makes the stop as he gets to the 27. And now let's check whether or not it is Gary Rutledge or Richard Todd. It is Richard Todd, number 14, who comes in to start as he did the game. At quarterback, Willie Shelby, number 30. And Randy Billingsley, 26, the halfbacks. Calvin Culliver, 33, the fullback. Ozzie Newsome, 82, your split end. George Pugh, 88, the tight end. Culliver with the football and gets some yardage out to about the 29-yard line. Jim Stock, number 48, in on the stop. One of the defensive ends, along with Tom Eastman, number 42. Second down and about 7 to go. Earlier today at the Cotton Bowl, Penn State 41, Baylor 21. And in the Rose Bowl, in the last moments, going for the two-point conversion, Southern Cal defeated Ohio State 18-17. Alabama is playing for the national championship. Win tonight, and they got it. Todd flipping it out, intended for George Pugh, the tight end who could not hold on to it at the 47-yard line.
Tell you, Pugh was out there, and the ball looked like it was there. I don't know whether or not they're having a little trouble locating the ball in the lights or not, Jim, but when the ball leaves Todd's hands, it looks like it's right where it should be. However, something's coming up to get those guys confused. You can see here, he looks like he sees it all the way, and all of a sudden it's right over his head, and he can't handle it. He was open. It was a good call, and all they have to do is start completing them.
Newsom goes out wide to the right. It is third down and 7. Todd looking for Newsom. He's caught the football at the 42-yard line. Knocked down by Reggie Barnett. And that's a first down, Alabama.
I tell you, he really hummed that ball, and Newsom ran a real nice pattern. We'll be able to see it here. He comes down, he tries to take him in. He hasn't run a sideline. This is strictly nothing but a deep sideline. He runs it right. He's hit right on the money. And on those patterns, you better be hit right on the money.
Alabama led the club. Alabama at the 42. Culliver gets across the 45 and out to perhaps the 46 or 47-yard line before he's knocked down there. Tom Eastman, number 42, the middle linebacker, makes yet another tackle. Alabama, a very young ball club, only 8 seniors in their first 22, only 11 seniors in their first 44 men. Bob Lipinski is your right cornerback. He replaced Randy Payne late in the first half and is still in there. Todd keeping the football and not getting too much out of it. Randy Harrison, number 10, the weak side safety, also a freshman out of Hammond, Indiana, came over to make the tackle.
That's the first time tonight I've seen a counter wishbone where he took a step to his strong side and then came on back weak with the ball. They're doing it to try and contain the pursuit that Notre Dame uses. You'll see here he makes it look as if he's trying to go to the right. Now he turns around, and those linebackers are keen on what direction he starts going. And in doing this, he enabled himself to pick up 4 or 5 yards before any contact was made.
Third down and 4. Newsom wide right. Todd throwing, looking, can't get the ball away, almost intercepted. In on him was Dubinetsky on their second safety blitz that I can recall in this ball game.
And any time there's movement away from Dubinetsky, he has been free to go, and he's really moved quick on the play. It takes a pretty good decision, and he knows he's in trouble, and he's been getting there just as fast as he can, doing a heck of a job.
Rod Nelson will kick it away. Harrison 10, Bergmeyer 18 are deep. Hangs this one high. Harrison back, holding his hand up. It's going to bounce and be picked up by Taylor. Did they control it, or did it go into the end zone? Into the end zone will come out to the 20-yard line. A break for Notre Dame as Jimmy Taylor could not hang on to the ball. A 57-yard punt. Well, on January the 12th. What a day that's going to be. Another good day on NBC. We've had one already today. NBC Super Sunday. We started at 1:30 Eastern Time with a review of the season. A special hour program called NFL 74, the championship chase. And at 2:30, a pregame show with Don Meredith and Joe Namath and Jeannie Morris and Jack Perkins. And at 3:30, Super Bowl IX, Pittsburgh against Minnesota from Tulane Stadium in New Orleans. And after the game, all of the interviews and highlights right here on NBC Sports, #1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round. From the 20, Notre Dame leading 13-3. Two tight ends, Weber and McAfee. Panic in motion, number 44, cutting upfield and hit down hard. by number 57, Conley Duncan, a linebacker, junior, out of Hartselle, Alabama. Call it a gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9. Vince Cleese is our center tonight. There was some talk that Mark Brenneman, who hurt his foot, might get in there. And now Ken McAfee, son of the great from Alabama, comes wide to the right. Bullock gets out to the 23-yard line, and not much more. Gus White, Randy Hall in on the stop. And it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. Wayne Bullock, as Greg Collins was on defense, was the most valuable player on offense. He's got a brother that played at Purdue and another that played at Virginia State. So the Newport News Bullock family has been very much in evidence in college football. He's gained 55 yards tonight. Straight ahead goes Wayne Bullock. And it's 4th down. And Tony Brantley will have to come on to kick it away. And Alabama's going to get the ball again as Shelby, who fumbled a punt that set up the first Irish score, goes deep.
Under ordinary circumstances, Jim, you would assume that, 3rd down and 8 yards to go is certainly not an off-tackle situation, but they've been picking it up all night. Now, this is the first time that Alabama's actually stopped them where they were no threat to making a first down.
Alabama has 11 men on that line of scrimmage, but they're not all coming. And Brantley slices this off the side of his foot. It hits at the 40. Shelby picks it up at the 35. And Al Samuel is the first to get to it as he gets out to the 45-yard line, where Alabama has it 1st and 10. 10-11 to go. We're in the 3rd quarter, and Notre Dame leads the Crimson Tide of Alabama by the score of 13-3. Flag down on the play. And let us see whether or not there was a late hit. Personal foul, that's what it was, a late hit. That'll cost him 15 yards and move it well into Notre Dame territory at the 40-yard line. That's the first penalty against Notre Dame. The officials on the sideline are saying it's a timeout, so we'll take the time while we've got it. Go in the 3rd quarter, Notre Dame 13, Alabama 3. I don't know why they even roll it. The guys out there going, timeout.
I don't know if you want to do anything about it. You mentioned they had 11 men on the line. They had 10 because they had somebody back to return the kick. You do it what you want with it.
Yeah, I took my glasses off and everything.
He couldn't see the screen.
I can see the screen. Yeah, after I took my glasses off, I would hope so.
Make up your mind on that.
We're going to do it.
John, lean in just a minute. Not going to do it?
What you going to do? Yes or no?
Go on, camera guys. Going to get a lot of exercise.
Okay.
Good. I'm in shape.
10 seconds to what?
Wish they didn't.
5, 4, 3.
Well, she was smiling a moment ago at least. Alabama 1st and 10 for the Crimson Tide at the 40. Rutledge is the quarterback. Hands the ball off, and Niehaus makes the stop of Randy Billingsley. Check that. That's Jimmy Taylor just come in, number 27. Speaking of checking something, I had a pretty good trick going a moment ago. I had 11 men rushing the punt.
That's all right.
Instead of 10. That would have made it 12 men on the field. A gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9. John Galanis, who played a good part of the first half, is back in there as a defensive tackle for Notre Dame, number 96. Just checked in. Walter Broad has been using a couple of quarterbacks tonight. Not one has gotten him a touchdown. Rutledge looking, throwing for Shamoon. He's got the ball inside the 20-yard line. Russ Shamoon out of Napa, California, makes the stop. 1st and 10 from the 18 for Alabama.
And he made some kind of play here. Russ, I had a chance to meet him yesterday. All of us from Silverado get together, but he made a play in a crowd and how he held on to this ball is marvelous. He's made 2 outstanding catches tonight. And in Alabama's scheme of things, they don't really throw the ball an awful lot to their split people. But he got down into the hole, and when he did, boy, he got it.
Notre Dame's Greg Collins has said timeout after that 19-yard play and has come to the sideline. So Gary Rutledge out of Birmingham goes to talk to Paul Bear Bryant and his top assistants along the sideline as they've got a first down at the 18-yard line. Alabama down by 10. But the punt, the 15-yard penalty for piling on, and the fine catch by Russ Shamoon has given them a first down at the 18-yard line. Randy Billingsley has come back in. Here are some other winners in Orange Bowl competition. As you look at them, remember that there's a lot more to it than a football game. There's golf. There is tennis. Billy Martin won for the 2nd straight year, 18 and under. One of the fine collegiate tennis players. Van Winitsky won 16 and under. There's also soccer for boys and girls, and these are some of those winners. From the 18, first and 10, Alabama. Shamoon wide right. Rutledge pitches back, and they can't find the handle. Mike Stock just into the ball game, the junior from Elkhart, Indiana, and he doesn't like that a bit, does he? That takes it from the 18 all the way back to the 27. A loss of 9 into the second.
Boy, had he held on to that ball, he had something going for himself. They made the pitch real quick. Blocker on him, and he was long gone, but you got to hang on.
Shamoon out wide right. Jerry Brown is the tight end, and he's on the left side. Look out. Rutledge, he gets away, in trouble again. Fires the ball, has his man, and it's the same one. Russ Shamoon. Check that again. That is Randy Billingsley. Number 26, not 25. But that ball is at the 19-yard line, and it's 3rd down and 11.
You got to credit right here. It's nothing but Gary Rutledge. He makes an outstanding play. I don't know how in the world he ever got around as he did, but when he did, he set up, and then to find his receiver, Billingsley, was that's a great play. Steve Niehaus is really in on Gary in this play. He's been forcing the action all night long. He knows he's got a quarterback in his pocket this time. Oops, he got away.
Kevin Nosbush limps to the sidelines as we watch the end of this, and he goes in. Alabama number 1. I thought I'd see a Notre Dame button on him.
Have any patent on him?
3rd down and 11. From the 19-yard line. Shamoon goes out wide right, and Billingsley goes out with him. Shamoon 25, Billingsley 26. 3rd and 11 from the 19. Stock in motion. They've got everybody out, and Rutledge back to throw over this way. And dropping down with the ball is George Pugh, the tight end, trying to set up a tight end screen, and he fell over backwards trying to hold on to the ball.
And what this play actually accomplished was really taking them out of field position where they can kick a field goal. They may try it, but it's going to make it awfully tough. You see here, he actually had his man out there, and the screen was developing, but I'll tell you, Niesbusch made a super player, and I'll tell you, that's a frustrating feeling because they had the play started and they never did get it underway.
Bucky Berry will try this from 44 yards out. And it is no good off to the side. And Notre Dame will take over on their own 20-yard line. The deepest penetration yet by Alabama to the 18-yard line, but they couldn't pull it off. 7:27 to go, 3rd quarter. It is still the Irish 13, the Crimson Tide 3. Okay.
Niesbusch.
I never heard of him.
It's either Niehaus or Nosbush. It ain't Niesbusch.
Okay. Yeah, he probably wants to lay down alongside of him.
Huh?
He hit the turf.
Yeah.
That Nosbush.
And refer him to me. I'll correct my mistake.
4-3.
There's a Nos bush and there's a knee house, but there ain't no knees bush, Jimmy.
Well, I tell you, Kevin's not laughing. He's aggravated an old knee injury, so it was a Nosbush knee that is hurt, and he is out of the ball game for the moment. Ball is at the 20-yard line. Number 1 ranked Alabama down by 10, and the other team, the Irish, have the football. It's McLean in motion, and Samuel coming this way and getting to the 21, and not much more. Ronnie Robertson and Mike DeBose made the tackle. From Miami, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC. That's Big Richard Todd, number 14, warming up. The Tide has its work cut out for it. And if reevaluate who gets that championship. Clements throwing, has his man knocked out of bounds. Mike Washington came over to knock Pete Demerly out of bounds, and that's the first time that Demerly has caught a pass tonight. He during the regular season, including 6 touchdown passes.
See, Pete Demerly actually had very little action all night, and I know he must be feeling happy just to get some piece of the ball tonight. They have had so much success running the ball, they haven't really had to come to him.
Ron Goodman is in now as the halfback on the left side. Clements rolling that way. In trouble, coming out, and dragged down, and there's Mike DeBose again, number 54, making the stop. Gus White wants the football, but they're not going to give it to him.
Right now, Alabama's playing outstanding defense, and they've shut them down every time they've had the ball in this half, but their offense is still yet to do anything.
4th down and a couple of yards, and Willie Shelby goes back again. Notre Dame, 4th in total offense, 11th in rushing offense, 1st in total defense, and 1st in rushing defense. No wonder the Crimson Tide is having problems,
right? No picnic.
Bradley to kick. Gets a good one away this time, driving Shelby back inside the 30-yard line to the 27. Willie Shelby looking for some room. He's going to get it. From the 27. Out to about the 37, where it's 1st and 10 Alabama.
And Shelby is a very exciting guy to watch run with the ball. I'm expecting him to break any moment.
Richard Todd comes back in as they continue to alternate.
Come to it, get into a discussion about why they're alternating their quarterbacks. I'm going to have to say something about it because I know neither one of them like it.
I'll put it to you that way.
Yes,
No, we need more time than that to discuss it. Why don't we wait a play? And then you can have him yell. Right. And don't take a replay unless it's a real super duper deal. We're going to nail the bear for a minute.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. Well, I tell you. Look at all those scores that Alabama rolled up, with the exception of Florida State.
10-1. 4-3.
Along with John Brody, Jim Simpson back at the Orange Bowl of Miami. The ball is at the 37, 1st and 10 Alabama. They're down by 10. Richard Todd at quarterback. Todd with the football. Todd throwing the football for Newsome. Oh, he almost made a tremendous catch at the 35-yard line. Newsome, a diving try, could not hold on to it.
You see how close this thing's been coming all night. This looks like a replay of several other throws all night long. Real close. Newsome reaches out, leaves his feet, and actually has the ball, and when he hits the ground, it bounces out. Now, it was ruled incomplete, and you can see an awful lot of people aren't too sure about it.
Hey, Brode, as we look at this again and this great catch, they've been alternating Todd and Rutledge. You were a quarterback for years. Did you like to be alternated? Does any quarterback
Jimmy,
be
I'll
alternated?
tell you, I'm sure that Bear Bryant has his reasons. I know for a quarterback trying to catch up, if you're not in there all the time, it's awful tough, and I'm sure both of them would like to be playing all the time. It's very difficult to get the feeling of the game itself.
Stock carried the ball for the second time. The first time he fumbled, and this time Dubonetsky nails him for a loss back inside the 30. In and out, along with Todd.
Well, it seems like they're alternating them every series, and I don't know whether the purpose is to see who can get something going and stay with him, or what. Actually, nobody's had anything going right now. I don't know how they felt about it.
Third down, and 19 to go. Alabama down by 10. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Todd forced to throw now. Here's Newsom out here, and he can't quite get to it. With him was number 18. Or was that 16, Payne? That was Randy Payne, Jr. out of Palmer Park, Maryland. And Ozzie Newsom sure was there, but the ball was overthrown.
And they're putting an awful lot of pressure on him, too, because they've got Newsom out there one-on-one with him, and he could go straight down the field. They're not leaving a free safety in there. As you've seen, Dubonetsky's in there rushing the passer half the time, and they're giving him every opportunity.
We looked at Alabama's statistics, also impressive. Rod Nelson has to keep the ball away. Hangs this one very high, and that is Randy Harrison standing under it at the 31-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Notre Dame. January the 11th. John and I will be over in Mobile, Alabama. Forward to that, having seen the East-West game, and we look forward to seeing the matchup of Steve Bartkowski of California and David Humm from the University of Nebraska. Humm in the Sugar Bowl game and Bartkowski in the East-West game did not have the kind of day and night that they would like to have, so I'm sure they'll come out firing in the Senior Bowl. ABC Sports will be there to bring it to you. From the 31. USC defeated Ohio State 18-17 today. Number 1 ranked Alabama in trouble with a little more than a quarter to go, and Notre Dame's got the football. Clement sets it up out here to Goodwin, who's going to throw a pass himself, intended for Demerly. It's picked off by Ricky Davis. First down, Alabama at the 47.
Super. Had a little help. They look like they read the play the whole way. Now this is a real fooler. You don't very often see a screen like this. Usually he's going to run the ball. Now he throws it, and Davis is playing it the whole way. He must have been standing reading their mail before this game. You see Pete, he's trying to lull him to sleep, and when he does, he doesn't fool Davis a minute. He's standing there waiting for the ball the whole time. That's just a great execution.
Davis, 6 interceptions during the regular season, said he did not play well. Rutledge is the quarterback, handing off, and Mike Fanning makes the touchdown. First quarter, they have not run Calvin Culliver too much. They've been down by 10 points, and they've been going to the air and trying to go wide.
Yes, they have, and you're looking at Rick Davis. He is an outstanding back. I expect him to play pro ball real quick in his career, but they've been doing a lot of things with him tonight. We haven't had a chance to see him because he hasn't been in play as much as General, because they haven't thrown the ball that much, but he's...
Moon and Billingsley go wide to the right. Second down and 9 from the 48. That's Shelby in motion to the right. Rutledge getting the ball out to Shelby and past him. And it's 3rd down 9.
This is a situation that Alabama very seldom finds themselves in. They have not been able to develop any kind of continuity. And so they really don't know what will work and what won't work offensively. And as a consequence, you get the feeling they're pulling something out of a hat every time they get the ball, and it hasn't been effective for them. They've been able to actually take charge at the line of scrimmage in prior games, and as a result, been able to... Tonight, they're having trouble.
3rd and 9.
Good play, James. Get in on him.
Rutledge looping it up in the air for Shamoon, and he can't turn around to get to it. Tangled up with the back trying to get loose. The ball was looped in the air by Gary Rutledge, and Shamoon was just going the wrong way.
And Shamoon made a great play to get as close as he did to it. They were all over him. On the other side, you have the same situation. Randy Harrison was all over Newsom, but they're playing him one-on-one, and they're not using a free safety. It's an amazing thing. Here you see George Pugh, and he's having all he can do to get out of there. I said Newsom, it was Pugh, but he was all alone.
Nelson kicking the ball away very high. Harrison again calls for a fair catch, this time at the 14-yard line. Well, time continues to tick away. The clock continues to be eaten up. And here's a ball club, Alabama, that scored only 8 points in knocking off Florida State and 17 in beating Auburn. But in other games, 21, 52, 23, 35, 28, 41, 35, 30, 28 points tonight. Thus far, they've got 3 points only.
And you know, Berry didn't even qualify for the punting championship this year because Alabama wasn't in a position to punt enough to qualify him. But tonight he might have qualified all alone. They've had plenty of opportunity to use their punting team.
Tom Clements with Bullock right behind him. And that's the man he gives it to, and Bullock gets a couple of yards across the 15, out to about the 17-yard line. You can see Woodrow Lowe down there, number 47, All-American, out of Phoenix City, Alabama, and Greg Montgomery out of Macon, Georgia. Well, this ball game is far from over, but we keep wondering, and I'll keep reminding you that Southern Cal did win this afternoon, and the national championship, if Alabama wins, belongs to the Crimson Tide. If not, they just might go back and take a look again, might they? Bullock again, and again Greg Montgomery, number 63, is the lead tackler there, and it's going to be third and about 6 to go. Out of McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. Third down. The quick pitch back. This is Al Samuel, and he's out only to the 21-yard line. And he is knifed down there on a fine tackle by Mike Washington, who is playing a fine game. And it's fourth down.
Getting the ball, and actually we got cut off there. You know, you notice that Notre Dame has thrown the ball very seldom, and when they have, it's been on first down in this half. Actually, it looks as if they don't think that Alabama can make any yardage or any points on their defense, and they're not going to give up any inexcusable mistakes.
At a first down in the third quarter. Brantley to kick the ball away. Shelby's waiting. Bounces, stays in bounds, and now finally goes out of bounds inside the 35 at the 33-yard line. A 47-yard punt. Well, we told you about, and you are aware, I'm sure, that this is Ara Parsegian's last game as head coach. You're aware that Notre Dame was leading Southern California big going into the third quarter of the last game of the regular season, and then Southern California blew them right out of the box. They wondered how the Irish would come back after that and losing their coach. Alabama, number one across the way. Paul Bear Bryant with a 7-game personal bowl losing streak, but number one in the nation and favored tonight. And so far, it's been Notre Dame. Todd, we've got a second quarterback in there again. Todd is in there, throwing it out for Newsom, who makes the catch at the 45-yard line. Defending with him was Barnett.
Again, we see Ozzie Newsom isolated. He's a big man. He's got great speed, and they're letting Barnett cover him all over the field. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Todd just started dropping back and throwing the ball down the field. They could really employ Newsom a little better if they have a post pattern. They haven't thrown a post but one time all night, and that almost hit.
Newsom this time comes to the left. Well, now they use Calvin Culliver, the fullback, and that's one of the rare times they've used him since late in the second quarter.
Well, they haven't really been in a position to utilize their fullback because when they haven't gained enough to get him in a position to run the ball again or consistently, and they haven't been able to develop anything that they know is going to work. And when you can't do that, it's a little tough coming to your fullback.
Second down and 7. Todd pitching back. Billingsley getting into Notre Dame territory at the 46-yard line, about a yard away from a first down. Randy Payne of Palmer Park, Maryland, made the stop.
Sylvester Croon, we haven't seen a great deal of him tonight because really we haven't had a chance to. Here he leads the play and was in a position to pick somebody up, but it never materialized.
He's the All-American senior. 2 out of Tuscaloosa, and there's the Alabama bench. Torn ligaments, we understand. He is through. Gulliver in motion. Todd flipping over the middle, past the hands of George Pugh, number 88, the tight end. Randy Harrison defending, and suddenly it is 4th down. 4 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Now we see Kroom in a situation where he's pass blocking, and he is a good one. Believe me, he's built like a fire plug, and he's very dependable. It can't be a very good life in there, though.
Now we have a single safety going back, as Nelson will kick the ball away again. It is Randy Harrison. The last 2 times he's had to call for fair catches. Got his hand up this time, and the ball bounces past him and angles toward out of bounds, where it's taken out of bounds. As the 3rd quarter ends, the ball down by Mark Prudhomme. Well, we've got 15 minutes to go, and it is still Notre Dame. Same scores at halftime. Irish 13, Tide 3.
Something's going to happen. They're either going to blow or Alabama's going to get back in it.
Who's that? Oh, King. He's a defensive back, isn't he? Now stick with me now here. Don't get lost in the back illusion. Huh? What'd you say? That's called Tyrone King, as that's called. He's a defensive back.
Tyrone King.
Oh, sure. Robin Weber. How did he hurt himself? Was he hurt before this game?
Got off the bus.
Hmm?
4, 3.
Now that is Tyrone King, a junior. And we don't know how he got hurt because he was not listed as injured. We believe that it was on the fumbled punt earlier. And Samuel recovered way back in the 1st period. But we're not sure. But anyway, Tyrone King is out along the sidelines. 1st down for Notre Dame. The ball is on their 8-yard line. That's Samuel in motion, and he's got the football. He's across the 10, he is across the 15, and he is very close to a 1st down before he is wrestled down. With Mike Washington leading the tacklers, number 34. It is a 1st down. Alabama defeated Maryland, Southern Mississippi, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Florida State, Tennessee, Texas Christian, Mississippi State, LSU, Miami, and Auburn. And there are many that took great pains to point out that Alabama played a schedule of winners, whereas Notre Dame played mostly people with losing records. Things have not gone that way thus far tonight. We've got a long way to go. Bullock with the football and across the 20 to the 22. Leroy Cook, the All-American number 98, making the stop.
Here you see him. Leroy's having a good night. They actually stopped running at him after the 1st quarter. Here they come back to him again, and he does his thing. He's a pretty tough man to handle. You know, Jim,
yeah.
you know, mentioned Alabama's bowl losing record in the 3rd and 4th quarter by USC. I really don't put an awful lot of credit to that stuff. And actually, I just think credit should be given to a team like Notre Dame. They've been playing good football all year, and they've been playing winning teams. They've been playing winning teams for years. Right now, they're playing a real winning team, and they're actually physically beating them. They're doing a great job playing football tonight, and you just can't take any credit away from them.
Well, Al Samuel has just picked up another 1st down out to the 32-yard line. That's the 11th 1st down for Notre Dame. Alabama has 8. Samuel in motion. McClain gets out to the 39-yard line. Mark McClain, who earlier in the ball game, scored from 8 yards out the second touchdown for Notre Dame. Mike DeBose made the stop.
DeBose has been playing an awful lot of football tonight. He has really had his hands full, and he has accepted the challenge. He's been pursuing great. He's been stopping plays right at him, and here again he makes the play. I know he's got to be a tired man.
DeBose goes out, and Dick Turpin, 66, checks in for him on second and short yardage, and there goes the man Bullock, first down out near midfield. And that clock continues to wind down. Less than 13 minutes to go.
And you can see that they are really taking it to Alabama. They were unable to move the ball on the ground. However, and right now it looks like basically they're just beating them up.
Ball is on the 49-yard line. Bullock is now gained. And they kept telling us there was some wonder whether or not he'd play or how effective he would be because of the flu. He is playing, and he is very effective. Here comes McLean this way, tripped up at the line of scrimmage, and there's that Leroy Cook down on the ground making the stop. A block was put on him by DiNardo, and yet Cook still made the tackle.
I think he was knocked into him that time, Jimmy. You mentioned Wayne Bullock with the flu. He might have had that, but there's probably quite a few fellas that on that other side that may have the flu unless something changes.
Tom Clements, a passing quarterback, has thrown only 5 times in this ball game. Second down and 8. McLean again. Oh my! There he is again. Leroy Cook.
He just shot through all the interference that time and got there before any of it could develop, and that is when you really get your best licks. You see him, he has to beat the guard across the line of scrimmage to do any good on the play. This time he just goes right by Bullock, right over the top of him, makes the stop. He's playing some kind of football.
Third down and 8 to go from the 49 of Alabama. Ken McAfee's the tight end. Demerly is in, comes out to the left side. Goodman is in. He's in motion to the right. Here's the 6 pass coming up from Clements if he can get it away. He does, and it is... Well, I'll have to say it's caught. It's in front of the bench there, but I can't see it until we get a look at this camera angle. And it looks like it might be Demerly, and it looks like Demerly might be hurt.
He might be hurt at that, and Demerly made an outstanding catch on the play. Back there was when Clements just let the ball go. Cook hit him just as he threw the ball and actually caught him. And you see Demerly waiting on the ball. Excellent return to get to the ball at its highest point. This is excellent. Take a look at Clements here. You'll see what a good play he makes and how quick Cook is on him. He makes the play and actually tackles him. That looked like Stabler a couple weeks ago.
Woodrow Lowe made the stop. 11-11 to go in the ball game. Notre Dame in the driver's seat at the moment. Irish 13, Tide 3. Well, this is not the kind of ball game I expected to see.
No, it's a good one.
It's a good ball game, but I expected it. I expected 28-24, back and forth.
They're just eating them alive.
Yeah.
I do not understand how Alabama can alternate their defense.
I don't either.
They haven't done it all year.
Pete Demerly caught the pass. Timeout has been taken for his benefit.
That's nice.
Pete Demerly, out of New Canaan, Connecticut, is hurt. And for a moment we thought he would come off on the stretcher, but instead he said, no, sir, he's going to stick around, and he limps to the bench.
Yeah, I think he just should file that stretcher, but you can see he definitely is hurt. I couldn't see just exactly how it happened. Here you're going to see Clements set up and the whole play you've just finished seeing, but he gets in front of Woodrow Lowe, and I see what happened. He caught his foot underneath his leg, and something happened in there. Fourth down and about a foot to go. They just made a first down, and we missed it.
There's a big thing there to go for 4th and 1 at the 40. They gave it to Bullock, but that's how confident Notre Dame is, and he picked up the first down. Could have been a turnaround right there at the 40-yard line.
They are really saying you can't beat us even if we don't make it in this situation. They could have safely kicked the ball down in good field position. Anyway, they're going after another score.
Tom Parise comes in. Demerly's up and walking around pretty good now. Well, not but here comes Mark McLean, and McLean finds daylight and gets inside the 35-yard line. Tackle was made there by number 55, Ronnie Robertson. McLean, the sophomore out of Wilmington, Delaware, has an 8-yard touchdown run, and there's the biggest thing going now. Alabama has not amounted any drive at all. And we're in the 4th quarter, and the number 1 ranked team is down by 10 points, and we've only got about 10 minutes left. And Notre Dame's got the football, 2nd down and 5. Samuel in motion. Parise with the football and very close to the first down at the Alabama 30-yard line. Third down and short yardage. Ed Bowers come in at left tackle now for Notre Dame, number 68, a senior out of Cincinnati, and Demerly on the sideline.
Right now they're giving it to most any back they wish to because they're winning the game right up front in the offensive line, and before there's any contact made, they've got a couple yards.
3rd and about. Parise has the first down, breaking across the 30. He is thrown back. They're marking the ball right at the 30, and he may not have the first down, although I thought he was across the 30-yard line.
He definitely was across it at one time. However, he got a good hit, and it looked like he was pulling loose, and he continued. So whether or not they rule that his momentum was stopped and he, and they get the ball there, that's definitely a referee's decision.
4th down, about a foot. More than 6 minutes have gone by in the final quarter, and Notre Dame's had the ball for every play.
You can see what happens. He definitely crosses the 30-yard line, but here with the hit, he kind of breaks loose, and Washington hangs on, and they finally bring him back, but they ruled it. It was up there at the 30.
Another big 4th down situation for Notre Dame. Pull back, Parise, shove back. And they're marking it that Alabama takes over at their own 31-yard line. And if the Crimson Tide is to get back into this football game, now is the time it must be done with 8:28 to go.
They have definitely been giving him a chance. They only left one back in the backfield that time when they gave it to Parise, and he was really met at the line of scrimmage, and it looked like it was Woodrow Lowe to me. I couldn't see for sure, but I'm sure it was.
8:28 to go in the ball game, the 41st annual Orange Bowl. All Bear Bryant along the sideline on this hot, hot night. Bring his team in until the 30th. A couple of years ago when Nebraska blew him out, he kept him away, but it is still Notre Dame 13, Alabama 3, and we've got 8:28 to go here in the 4th quarter. Hey, Don. Hey, tell Dickie just to roll. Yeah, because, I mean, they're telling me commercial cue, and all I got to do is roll it. No, I know, but all you have to do is just roll it as soon as you know it's time, and I'll get out. Todd back in there.
You bet Demerly's hurt. He can sit there and walk around and jump up and down all he wants. They've got ice on it now. It's over for him. Probably got a sprain. But you can see his foot and his leg twist underneath his knee when it happened.
And tomorrow morning, about 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning.
Are you kidding? You bet they're going to throw the
got
ball.
to throw it.
Get it on one of those wide receivers because I'll be able to talk about it, all right?
5, 4, 3.
Demerly was moving around, but they've got ice on that knee now. Richard Todd, the quarterback. Taylor, Culliver, and Shelby in the backfield. Alabama tries to get back in the ball game. That is Shelby backing upfield and getting to the 34-yard line. That's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Drew Mihalik made the stop, along with Tom Eastman.
Tom Eastman made a real good hit there, Jim, and actually made initial contact. It looked to me like Shelby's away, and it isn't that easy to get that good a hit on a back like Shelby.
Newsom wide to the right. He's expecting Todd to throw, and he's going to throw now, and he's looking for Newsom. Newsom's got the football at midfield. First down, Alabama. Harrison made the tackle.
That looked awful nice right there. He made a perfect fake. He had his back trailing, carried the linebacker out of there, and you'll see Newsom running. Or it's really not a very intricate pattern, but he just runs through the zone and finds a hole. And with the play action, it carried the linebackers in, and the hole was there.
There goes Culliver. Culliver cracks for another first down inside the 40-yard line. And that's the best two back-to-back plays the Tide has had all night long in this 41st annual Orange Bowl.
I think it's the first two that they've really sustained anything with, and those were two real big plays. You know, they can get back in the ball game with any march at all here, and this thing is far from over.
7:39 to go. The ball at the 38-yard line on a warm, humid night in Miami. Newsom comes wide right. Todd throwing on first down, looking for Newsom. He made the catch at the 26-yard line. First down, Alabama at the 26.
And Reggie Barnett has the toughest job in town in that situation. Newsom comes down on him. He's playing him awfully close. I'm surprised somebody hasn't noticed him and sent him down the field. There's nobody to his inside, and there's nobody to his outside. And that's just as close as Barnett can play him.
Newsom has now caught 5 passes for 64 yards. Todd back to throw, looking on the down and out. Has it man across the way. Shamoon makes his third fine catch of the night.
And he made just another nice pattern, and Todd is throwing that ball. He can really hum that thing. And right now they're going to have to play him. He comes in, makes a good fake with people all around him. He hits Shamoon right on the money, and he tries to make a cute fake, but it was a good defensive play by Payne.
Ball is on the 12-yard line. Todd hands, drops the football, and has to come back and get it. Costs them a yard or two and costs them a down. Clock continues to run. 6:49 to go in his 13-3 ball game, which the Irish of Notre Dame lead. Ball bearer Bryant, I've seen him on many sidelines, and I've seen him agitated on occasions, but I've never seen him looking like this too often. He wants this one. So does Persega. Newsom to the right. Todd, it is intercepted by number 41, Dubinetsky, and he's run out of bounds at the 26-yard line, and you wonder how much longer Alabama can hang in there. Notre Dame is taking it to him.
John Dubinetsky made a singularly great play. He had the man, he had him on Barnett, and it looked like a sure thing. He picked it out of nowhere.
6:23 to go. Unbeaten Alabama, number 1 in the country, trailing Notre Dame 13-3. We may have to fill.
Huh?
Unless they start, they beat this thing up in a hurry. We got to stay on till 11.
What time is it?
You can do it.
Well, it's not anything.
Jim Simpson with John Brody. Old Brode's enjoying this one. Dubinetsky has picked this off and now takes a rest, and he had a little oxygen here. Notre Dame with 6:23 to go has the football back again. Tom Clements and company, they have shown the ability to eat up the clock. And that's what Alabama cannot afford. And Clements carrying the ball himself. Not getting too much, of course, but time will wind down, and Dubinetsky made the big interception, bro.
Let's go back and look at it. Here you see it's just a simple situation on Barnetti, and Todd tries to get the ball to him quick, doesn't see Dubinetsky, and actually he made an excellent play because he's man-to-man on the back there, and he's coming after him, just following the quarterback as he's coming. He happens to see the ball get out of Todd's hand, picked it off. He's made a lot of big plays tonight.
second down and 6. McLean's on the right side, Samuel on the left side, and Bullock is the big man in the middle in that backfield for Notre Dame. Bullock with the football. It's out to the 32-yard line, and now they're going to come up to another big third down situation. Charles Hanna made the stop along with Bob Baumauer. 5.5 minutes to go. Southern California today edged Ohio State 18-17. Southern Cal has lost a game, their first game of the year to Arkansas. Hasn't lost since, has looked impressive. Alabama unbeaten until tonight. The national championship could be up for grabs instead of belonging to the Crimson Tide if this holds up. Look at Clements, he's going to throw, and now he can't. Leroy Cook is there. Clements, remember last year from the end zone through in that great game down in the Sugar Bowl. To hold on to the ball and may have tried the same magic again, but it didn't work.
It was a good situation to throw the ball. It's just that when a guy physically overpowers somebody else, as Leroy Cook does here, there's no way you can draw up the play that's going to work. And he's been when they have broken down, it's been Cook that's made him do so.
You got it. Boom.
Bradley kicks the ball away. Shelby at the 37-yard line, looking for some running room. And doesn't get too much. Stop made there by number 51, Pete Johnson, a freshman linebacker out of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. 4:29 to go. And it's still the same as it was at halftime. Notre Dame 13, Alabama 3. Had a lot in it. There haven't been any scoring on this half.
No, but it's exciting anyway. It's like you have the feeling that Notre Dame's hanging on.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like they're playing this way now, and they say, geez, we just got about... They're definitely, it looks like they're looking at the clock. Clements made a good call. I thought he was going to get the ball off.
Who's in place of Nosbush? Is it Weston? Alabama get a quick score here.
Who's playing quarterback?
Well, Bear will take a long time getting over this.
It's his fault.
Huh?
He may be the one responsible for it.
The quarterbacks. The coach is involved, and Paul Bear Bryant apparently has made a decision. After starting Todd, coming in with Rutledge, back to Todd, back to Rutledge, back to Todd, back to Rutledge. He is sticking with Richard Todd at his quarterback in the last 4.5 minutes of play. Todd throws it on the far side, bobbled by Newsom, who's looking for some running room and gets some across the 50-yard line into Notre Dame territory at the 49. It'll be second down from there.
He made everything that was available, Jim. Getting away as he did, he allowed everybody to penetrate and catch up with him. Had he broken clean originally, it was a quick screen, and he had blockers in front of him, and he'd have gone some.
Tight end George Pugh comes in. Tight end Jerry Brown goes out. Newsom wide to the right. Less than 4 minutes to go. Todd looking, throws it out here to Randy Billingsley. And he may have gotten a yard before John Dubonetsky makes his second excellent play in the last couple of minutes.
He did. Todd wanted to go again to Newsom out there. He's one-on-one. Burnett's doing a great job with him, playing him all over the field. With the speed that Newsom has, I don't know how he can do it, but they haven't come to him on a fly pattern or anything deep to the post yet.
Newsom, the freshman, at the top of your screen. Third down. Todd gets it out toward Newsom and underthrows it. And it's fourth down. Now with 3:21 to go and the ball nearly at midfield. Todd stays in. Alabama needs yardage and points.
Well,
not to give the ball up again.
Yeah, there's no way they can punt the ball this trip.
Look at that, Broad. 14 times they've had a third down play. Alabama's been successful 3 of the 14 times.
Well, I think one thing we must look at is that they've had a lot of third downs that they haven't made, but they've been third and more than 6 yards to go, and they're awful tough to pick up.
On fourth down, looping it out, and there is number 25, Shamoon, and he should score! 47 yards, and Alabama's right back.
You never saw a guy run a finer pattern, catch the ball. This guy, for an offense that doesn't throw the ball much, he runs outstanding patterns. you notice they don't have, I guess, a drop back pass, so you fake it off the wishbone. He drops back. He hits Shimon right on the money, and Payne tried to make the steal. It was just a perfect throw and a perfect catch. Gets him right back in the ball game. You see it again. You just wonder how long it's going to take for somebody to break a tackle and go all the way in the defense they're playing, but it's taken them about 56 minutes to do so.
Now the score is 13-9. And they're going for two. Todd looking for two, and Pugh makes the catch. Tremendous catch by George Pugh.
Absolutely in a flat-out parallel position to the ground on that play. I know a two-point play seems like it could be not as important as that one was, but now that means any sort of field position where they can kick a field goal, it's going to be curtains out. Now, beautiful throw, a nice throw, but a beautiful catch.
But you know now that a field goal will win it. Had they not made it, a field goal would not have tied it.
Oh no, it's the way to play the game. You know, that's one thing. You know that Bear Bryant's always in the game. He's not playing. He'd rather not come down here than get one of those. The only way he can win it is get three more now.
Samuel and Goodman are deep. And Bucky Berry will kick it off. And you want to know the time? 3:13 to go. And Happy New Year to you. And what a ball game we have here. 13-11. Number 1 Alabama has 3 minutes and 13 seconds to pull it out. Win the national championship. And Ara Persegian has 3 minutes and 13 seconds of coaching left with the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Goodman at the 10. Running rather tentatively, gets out past the 20 to the 24. 3:08 to go. To try and shut down the Notre Dame offense, which was most effective in the first half, but has not scored and didn't have a first down in the third quarter. Well, NBC's third year of the National Hockey League gets underway on Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. St. Louis Blues meet the Buffalo Sabres, and we've got a return of our old buddy Peter Puck, along with other features, right here on NBC Sports. But at the moment, we're not thinking hockey. That's Sunday. We're thinking football, the Orange Bowl, and Ara Persegian along the way. With 3:13 to go, he had a 13-3 lead, and suddenly it is 13-11. Samuel in motion. Clements, willing to throw, throws the ball out of bounds. Intended for Wayne Bullock across the way. And that only took a few seconds, 3:04 to go. Second down and 10.
You know, Jim, that two-point conversion was the first one they've converted all year long. They've been 0 for 4 during the year, and the play that beat was really well conceived. I mean, they had a man open the whole way, cutting across on a simple little rollout to the right. And if they've used that play previously, I'm surprised it wasn't.
Made a remarkable catch. Kevin Doherty, number 32, comes in as a split end. Remember, Demerly is hurt. Clements rolling out himself. Gets away. Pushed down. And they mark it very near the first down. Ricky Davis ran him out of bounds. Tom Clements rolled for either a first down or very close to it.
Ron Robertson, who's made an awful lot of big plays all day, all night long, had an opportunity there to grab him again and just barely missed. And that's a quality that Clements has had throughout his tenure at Notre Dame, is to come up with a big play when they need it.
Well, Clements apparently is injured along the sidelines. Frank Alacco, the senior from New Providence, New Jersey, was buckling that chin strap. It was also in front of that Notre Dame bench that Demerly got hurt. Let's see whether or not Clements can make it back in or not. It is not a first down. And there goes Alacco. He's only thrown 10 times this year. Clements has been the man most of the way. And Frank Alacco, the senior, replaces another senior, Tom Clements, who is shaken up at least for the moment. Third down and not much to go. Last time they had only one man in the backfield, and they've only got one again now.
Yep.
And he gets it and dives, and it all depends on where they mark it. They're standing at the 35, which should be good enough for the first down for Notre Dame. with 2:53 left.
They got to stand still up front. They really not much. And Bullock goes up and just gets, you got 240 pounds going for you. He just gets over the helmets of the Alabama defenders, and that was all he needed.
Alabama's now called a timeout. They want to stop that clock with 2:53 left. .253 left. Alaco is over talking to Ara Persigian how to keep it alive, and Alabama, of course, is gambling that they can stop him and make him kick it away and get one more shot.
And I fully expect Alabama to take all its timeouts now and let their offense utilize what they can with what they have left. Bear knows this is his last shot. If he lets it go down to 1 minute, it creates an awful lot of havoc. Here, they're going to try and do whatever they can to stop him right now and get the ball back. And Notre Dame is really kind of locked in as to what they can do. I'll be very surprised. I wouldn't have been if Clements was in there, but if Alaco goes to the air, it's putting a lot of burden on a guy that hasn't been playing at all night, and I'm certain that Alabama's not going to play for him to put it up.
Well, you have seen the tension mirrored in the faces of the coaches, Paul Bear Bryant and Ara Persigian. It's a first down for Notre Dame at their own 35-yard line. There's a 2-point difference. And for Alabama, it's a 2-point difference between perhaps a national championship and a national championship. Clements along the sidelines. Notre Dame, of course, has its pride. It's Persigian's last game. Bullock with the football, and he gets a couple of yards, and that's all. Alabama, as of this moment, has not called. Now they're standing up, and Ronnie Robertson calls for time again. Stopping the clock with 2:43 to go, and second down and 8 to go. And I hope you've been with us all day long. Can you imagine an 18-17 ball game won by John McKay and Southern Cal going for the 2 points this afternoon in the Rose Bowl, and then to cap off the night with this? I almost called it a thing. With this game, 13-11, Notre Dame.
This game is really getting back in the hatch. You can almost feel Notre Dame hanging on. Now, they've been taking it to Alabama all night long, and you get into a situation where you want that victory so bad. The one thing you don't want to let happen to yourself is to get to playing defensively on offense. And it's okay to be conservative, but they've still got to be aggressive out there and make some movement, because one more first down just ices it for them, and they're in a position where they have to get it.
You know, bro, this is my 10th Orange Bowl, and I can remember the famous 12 men on the field in the Penn State-Kansas game, one after time was out with a 2-point conversion. I can remember Alabama being upset by Texas in 1965, Tennessee being upset by Oklahoma, Nebraska winning the championship right here with a defeat over LSU. But this ranks with them all. It's 2nd and 8. This is McLean, and he just got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. And that man is there again, Leroy Cook, the All-American end from Abbeville, Alabama. Oh, now it is third down. The clock continues to run with 2:21 left. Third and long. Ron Goodman comes in. Kevin Doherty comes in. If Alabama holds them here and their crowd across the way is hold Alabama, that's what they're yelling. Alabama will have a shot with about a minute and a half to go if they can hold them. Alaco, he's going to be tackled for a loss. Back at the 31-yard line.
That looked like a tough play, and it looked like it might be Alaco's fault, but actually I give the guy credit for He rolls out. You're going to get a chance to see it right here. He rolls out. He's very definitely looking for his tight end. He sees him. He also sees a crowd in there. He does the right thing. He picks the thing in and tries to get what he can.
Shelby is back deep, standing inside his own 30-yard line. If Alabama gets the ball, if they can move within field goal range, it is possible for the Crimson Tide to win. But, of course, the Notre Dame defense, with one notable exception, the 48-yarder to Shamoun, With 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go, the Notre Dame defense has been remarkable. It has been very tough. Clock shows 1:50 to go. Richard Todd, it'll be his responsibility along the sidelines. The junior out of Mobile, Alabama. The man that the Bear calls perhaps the finest all-around athlete on the team. Alabama, it is our information, has no timeouts left. Brantley is in. Shelby will try to give it the big return. Notre Dame will try to cover. Shelby dropped one that set up the first Notre Dame score. Line drives it to him. He'll have a chance to bring it back. Shelby is down at the 38-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 for Alabama with 1 minute and 39 seconds to go. Dave Becker made the stop. Irish 13, Crimson Tide 11. 61-year-old Paul Bear Bryant trying to break a personal 7-game losing streak and to win a national championship for Alabama. Todd forced to throw. Chamoun again. And I believe he's out of bounds, stopping the clock with Randy Payne right there with him. The ball is at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Richard Todd made an outstanding play here. Again, you see him faking the Culliver, dropping back. That's what they use instead of a straight drop back. And Chamoun made the big play here, getting out of bounds to stop the clock, because every one he does really helps him.
1:32 to go. That took just 7 seconds. Chamoun wide to the right. Todd, back throws it to man coming out of his backfield. Down the sidelines he goes, and that is Randy Billingsley. And that stops the clock inside the 40 at the 38.
Outstanding play by Richard Todd there. He comes off the same thing, and it's very tough to fake to your backs and still see downfield. That time he came off, felt the rush, and went right out to Billingsley without even looking for his primary receiver.
2nd down and 2. 1:21 to go. Twice Todd has gone to the left side. Once to Chamoun. Again to Billingsley. 2nd and 8. Ozzie Newsome is in and comes to the right side. Todd back looking for Newsome. It is intercepted by Barnett. Reggie Barnett. Cube tries to drag him down, and Barnett goes out of bounds. And there might have gone the last glimmering chance for the Crimson Tide from Alabama. The ball was underthrown, intended for Ozzie Newsome, never got anywhere near him, and Barnett was there.
I don't know if we can see why it was underthrown, but following Richard Todd on the play, he came up. It was a little difficult for him to get his footing, and the ball kind of stuck to his hand. Whoop! And it went right down too low, and probably didn't even see Barnett. I'll tell you what, he's been a big factor all night long. And all they have to do now is be able to sit on the ball. There's no timeouts left, and 2 snaps from center ought to do it. Here we see it again. He drops back. He's trying to hit Chamoun all the way. Just whips it in there a little short, and that's the name of the game.
Alaco finishing up, falls down. Alabama, it is our information, cannot call time. They'll let it run down now. 1 minute along the far sidelines, and throughout the night, Paul Bear Bryant of Alabama will be knowing that if this holds up, he has lost his 8th consecutive bowl game, and Alabama may have lost a chance for the national championship. For Ara Perseghian, closing out 11 years at Notre Dame. What a way to go. And remember, he said he's not retiring, he is resigning. He expects to be back in coaching someday. This will make him want to come back perhaps a little sooner. Alaco falls down, 30 seconds to go.
You know, in defense of, Notre Dame gave up a whole bunch. They made their cornerbacks play Alabama man-to-man out wide, and just challenged them to throw the ball deep to their receivers. And Reggie Barnett, I'll tell you, made a great play just a minute ago, but he's made an awful lot of outstanding plays all night because he hasn't allowed very many people to catch very many balls.
John, oh boy, you're going to hear him count it down. This may be it. Notre Dame upsets #1 ranked Alabama. The Fighting Irish playing their last game for Ara Perseghian, the big underdogs to the Crimson Tide, who have now lost 8 consecutive bowl games. Favored again, unbeaten during the regular season, trailing 13-3 at halftime. 13-3 with 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go when a 48-yard pass play made it as close as it really was. And Reggie Barnett's interception stopped an Alabama drive that could have carried them within perhaps field goal range. And Broad, this is your first Orange Bowl. I'm sure it's not your last, but you have had quite a debut.
Well, I have, Jim, but you know, more than that, we're taking a look at Bear Bryant congratulating Ara Parseghian. I think if there's one man that emulates what college football or any kind of football is about, it's got to be Bear Bryant. The man I know last year when he got beaten, and I know how heartsick he was, walked into the Notre Dame dressing room and congratulated all the players. He's a guy who knows how much energy is going out there on that field tonight. Not only his and Ara's, but those 150 football players that were performing out there. And I don't think I've ever witnessed a ball game that's been more exciting or more enjoyable.
Well, I tell you, as you saw the face of Ara Parseghian going off the field, you could tell what he was talking about when he said the tension was getting too much for him. He just didn't want to take it anymore. Paul Bear Bryant, I'm sure, will be back for yet another year. But I'm also sure that the folks of Alabama and the followers of Alabama and Paul Bear Bryant are disappointed yet again. But look at Paul Bryant going to the Notre Dame players. You know the disappointment that's written in his face. And knowing the Bears I do, he'll blame it all on himself. But Notre Dame tonight was aggressive, and Notre Dame took it to him in that line of scrimmage, defensively and offensively.
They actually did, Jim. The surprising thing to me, and we mentioned earlier, was that Alabama wasn't able to keep the ball and sustain any sort of drive to really get some sort of feeling as to what they could do during the game. Now, I mentioned a few times that they were in a man-to-man situation with the defensive backs, but even so, you know, it's one thing to say that, and it's another thing to pick it apart. Now, a team like Alabama, who doesn't use a lot of drop-back throwing and cup throwing, really couldn't implement what was actually going on. They have an outstanding offense, and you hate to see a team that's gone through 11 straight victories come out here and get beaten on the final go when they played so well all year. But if they're going to have to, they got beat by as fine a team as they're going to find.
Notre Dame won by a point last year and by 2 points today. And, of course, they're still going to figure out who gets the national championship. Southern California was a winner this afternoon, but they lost a game, their first game of the year. And Alabama never lost until today. And, of course, Alabama only lost by 2 points. So that'll be up to the National Football Foundation who is declared the national champion. And whoever gets it, you're going to hear some comment from the other side, because there are a couple of teams that do deserve it. Our thanks to Frank Rentz, president of the Orange Bowl Committee, Ernie Seiler, who recently retired after 40 years as pageant director, Dan McNamara, general manager, Al Fleming, production manager of the Orange Bowl Committee, and our old friends Ben Benjamin and Jack Baldwin. From Alabama, Bear Bryant and Charlie Thornton, the sports information director. From Notre Dame, Father Edmund Joyce, executive vice president, Bruce Cross, athletic director, Ara Parseghian, who said farewell to Notre Dame as head coach, and Roger Baldessari, the sports information director. And John Brody, we wind up where we actually begin a year in great fashion with this 1975 Orange Bowl game.
This was a great game, and it has to sum up really the tone of all the bowl games that I've seen. I hate to pick a number one team, but being from the West Coast, I'd kind of like CSC get it.
You're being honest at least. Our reminder to you that we're going to be back, John and myself, a week from Saturday over in Mobile, Alabama for the Senior Bowl. That'll be at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And, of course, a week from Sunday, we've got the granddaddy of them all as far as football is concerned, the epitome, the climax of professional football, and that is the Super Bowl IX game. Now this is Jim Simpson along with Old Bro. John Brody saying goodbye from Miami and Happy New Year. The final score, Notre Dame 13, Alabama 11. And always tune in NBC for the best in sports.